Good evening, and we are live now. Evening, everyone here, and good evening to the viewers at Sentinel Facebook Live and YouTube. Thank you for being here. This being the occasion of World Environment Day, and it's been a different kind of a week where suddenly different issues have come to the forefront. In our backyard, Dibru Soikia has become a very different kind of a flashpoint, a topical flashpoint. Amar Dihing Patkai issue to it has come into the foreground again. Aru ami the nature of these talks are and these conversations are not confrontational. The idea is to find meaning, find awareness, well deeper, and personally, Babu, I think I am not here to blame. Nobody's here to blame other people. Nobody's here to lay a blame game on government. This goes beyond. This goes towards individual responsibility, living up to what we have. We have cultural heritage. We have natural heritage, and natural heritage is what we need to be very, very proud about. We need to be very careful of, and we need to protect this enormous diversity of trees, of organisms, of animals, of birds that we are blessed with, and that we have. These are family jewels. This is what we have. Unfortunately, in a growing up years in school, in college, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, African Equatorial Forest, Dihing Patkai, our backyards, they never came up in terms of discussion. What's happening and what we have. Growing up, it was only Kaziranga, it was only the one-horned rhino. Assam and the Northeast has so much more. The Northeast has so much more. And we have to understand that there is no animal, there is no forest that exists in isolation. There is no story that exists in isolation. That is the diversity of this situation, and that is the diversity of what we have. And that is the diversity of what we celebrate. In the way we celebrate our music, our literature, our heroes. I think environment has to be celebrated, the ecosystem and the nature of rainforests. On that note, I would like to introduce Ashalata Devi from Tezpur University. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. And
thank you.
And we wanted people who have understood and studied the ecosystem to be with us. Would you just introduce yourself with a short? Would you just tell us the nature of your work at the university?
Yes.
A short description of what you do. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to wish all the viewers a very happy World Environment Day 2020. So myself, Dr. Ashalata Devi, I'm working in Department of Environmental Science, Tezpur University, and I'm being an academician and researchers and involved in the research activities in different forest ecosystem and conservation of biodiversity, assessment of bioresources, and how they connect to the local peoples and their traditional ecological knowledge. So briefly, I will introduce them.
Yeah. Thank you. And along with you, we also have Mr. Narayan Sharma. Hello, hello, Mr. Sharma. Glad to have you with us again. And I would like to tell the viewers today that we have been taking forward the idea of the ecosystem, the idea of conservation, and the idea of empathy. A few of us have done this over the week, and Mr. Narayan Sharma has been most kind to spare his time for this effort. So, just to get on to the first question, Mrs. Ashalata Devi. What is the Dihing Patkai? How is Dihing Patkai special to Assam? I will have this question to both of you. How is it special to Assam, and what makes the diversity in Dihing Patkai unique? Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So nowadays, Dihing Patkai is coming in forefront in discussion among the academicians, researchers, conservationists, and in all the sector, I would say. But it do have a very special place in Assam because, as we all know, this is the only patch of the tropical lowland rainforest left in Assam. And as it's referred to as the Amazon of the East, there must be some reason behind that why this Dihing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary is being referred as the Amazon of the East. If you imagine the Amazon rainforest, means that also considered as the lungs of the earth. So that means things that if you look again in the aspect of the climate change, loss of the tropical rainforest contribute to the larger scale in global emission of the greenhouse gases, because tropical rainforests actually hold more carbon in the plant biomass than in the soil. So this dense forest having the high populations of the tree species in this
Internet problems, connectivity. Mr.
Sorry,
Sharma,
it was interrupted.
I think you got a call. Please continue.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So that's what the forests do have the high populations of tree species, and they do sequester carbons in the plant biomass. And in addition to that, they provide the habitat and resources for.
More calls, I guess. Sometimes I put my phones on Wi-Fi, but then if you're on 4G, then it stops the 4G. I put it on airplane mode. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, it's interrupting. Yeah. So, and on the other hand, I would say in and around the Dihing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary, there are numbers of the villages. Means I came to across in some of the papers, there are more than 13 villages, about the 1,500 populations inhabited in and around the area. So these local people of the villages are actually getting resources from the forest. I want to say that their livelihood largely depends upon the forest resources. So it makes more importance to conserve, and it do plays a special role in the local peoples of the Assam, and particularly as for the northeastern region. And if we talk about the unique diversity of the Dihing Patkai, as mentioned earlier, it provides the habitat for diverse flora and fauna, plants and animals. So animals consist from the small to the large size carnivores. There are herbivores, like the primate species are there, birds, reptiles, insects, many more are there. And talking about the vegetations, it composes tall trees like the hulok, which is also the stat tree, the Diptocarpus retusius, that are associated with the Nahar plant, that's Mesophora, Vertical, and Cipolia, like that. And diverse epiphytic orchids also make the vegetation quite unique. Along with that, there are numbers of the life form that actually serves the medicinal and economic importance, fulfilling the requirements of the peoples inhabited around here. And specifically to mention something, a large portion of this Dihing Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary encompasses the Dihing Patkai Elephant Reserve. I think it covers more than 50% of the sanctuary. And elephant corridors of this sanctuary do connect with the Diomali Elephant Reserve in Tirap district of the Arunachal Pradesh. And sizable populations of elephants are present out there. So we know that how important the elephant is, because elephant to maintain the healthy forest and diverse forest ecosystem, they are the keystone species. They are the seed transporter, the dig wells that they use, and even the human being also use to fulfill the water requirements. They modify the forest also. At the same time, they also provide plenty of the food. The dungs of the elephant is serve as a plenty of food, many of the insects, and many more things. And then the Dihin Patkay sanctuary is traced to the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot, which is one of the 35 biodiversity hotspots. So as it is a trace of the biodiversity hotspot, it is understood that there is a rich diversity and many of the species falls under the conservation status, which may be endemic, threatened, endangered, vulnerable, and critically endangered, many more out there. And to be mentioned, there are numbers of the non-human primates, like the Hologiwans are there, slow loris are there, Caplangus, and many more are there. And Hologiwan is the only F of our country. And they also have the important role in functioning of the forest ecosystem. In some reports also, it has said there are the 8 wild cats, from the small size to the large size, like from the tiger, clouded leopards, up to the jungle cats, marble cats are available out there. And considering the evidence, the birds diversity, there are more than 300 bird diversities that is present in the sanctuary. And it is also one of the important bird area of the Eastern Assam. And Eastern Assam falls under the endemic birds area of the Eastern Himalaya. So this diversity of the species and the animal kingdoms could live and survive in the sanctuaries because of having this dense forests that compose of the unique vegetations of the different strata layers out there. So all this make this Dihin Patkay Wildlife Sanctuary very important in the state Assam, and is also important for the region of the Northeastern.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, because we've been having the discussions on environment for the last 1 week, and on my private platforms I've come, but this is the first time we are taking to the Sentinel. So some facts, they need to be repeated because we are getting different audiences. So Mr. Sharma, you would understand we've been speaking about this, but at every junction, a few facts need to be repeated again. So thank you, ma'am, for the enlightenment. Mr. Sharma, the question for you is, where as a teacher, as an educationalist shaping minds, where is Dihin Patkay in the Assamese consciousness, and is education doing enough to instill something like a rainforest or Dihin Patkay to the consciousness of the Assamese? I'm sorry, it's a kind of a different question, but you would understand my intent. Yeah.
So how is Dihin Patkay? What is Dihin Patkay for a academician, or say whether Dihin Patkay has got enough say coverage in academic circle? So I must say that in the academic circle, Dihin Patkay is not very new. Okay, so it has been there for a long time. So we know the uniqueness of that area, and time and again there are different kinds of research publications. Research.
More prostoto kitu asile about the Assamese consciousness of kiman khomai ase. As an educationist, apni ki bhagbo.
So মোক লাগে যে চক বস্তুটো হল যে যোনটো ৰেইন ফৰেষ্ট হয় জেনেৰেলি এতিয়া সাকে অকমান বেছিকে এইটো লাইম লাইটত আছে একচুয়ালি ৰেইন ফৰেষ্টটো হয় কি so jungle বুলি কিনে so জঙ্গলৰ so people try to equate jungle with a rainforest rainforest বুলি কিনে শব্দটো নাছিলে most likely এটা শব্দটো আহিছে so I think that it's a very unique so যোনটো Dihin Patkay যোনটো forest হয় আৰু আপুনি গোৱালপাৰাৰ যোনটো forest যদি চাই these are two very different kind of forest so গোৱালপাৰা you will see mostly sal forest বিলাক আপুনি চাব গোৱালপাৰা ফালে আৰু কিছুমান mixed forest definitely আছে but you know rainforest যেনেকা Dr. Asalata Deviye কৈছে যে it's a very unique kind of system so এতিয়া I think since this Save Dihin Patkay campaign or pisot I think মানুহবিলাকৰ মাজত এটা কনসিয়াসনেস আইছে যে এটা এনেকে এটা জঙ্গল আছে যাক ৰেইন ফৰেষ্ট বুলি কিনে কয় I think just rain forest কোৱাটো I think Dihin Patkay লগত খুব এটা জাস্টিস নহয় I think আমি তাত ৰেইন ফৰেষ্টতকে বেছি হয় এটো লো লেড ট্ৰপিক্যাল ৰেইন ফৰেষ্ট হয় আৰু যিবিলাক একেবাৰে ওয়ার্ল্ডৰ আটাইতকৈ ৰিচ ফৰেষ্টৰ মাজত এটোৰ গণনা কৰা যায় মই জাস্ট এটা এক্সাম্পল দিও আপোনাক বৰ্নিওৰ এটা জঙ্গলত around 32 ফুটবল ফিল্ডৰ নিচিনা জাগাত যিমানখিনি গছ পায়, okay, there are 700 gauze, 700 trees which are found in 32 area, which is equivalent to 32 football field, which is equivalent to the trees found in entire North America. So now you know the richness of these places. So it's
Wow.
so rich. I mean, so that's why যোনটো মানুহৰ এটা consciousness আছে যে আমি এইটো কিয় ৰক্ষা কৰিব বিচাৰি আছো, কিয় we need this tropical lowland rainforest. I think এইটো মানুহৰ তাতে populate হ'ব আৰম্ভ হৈছে, and this is a very very good sign. আৰু মই যেতিয়া আমি in fact as an academician যেতিয়া আমি syllabus বিলাক draw কৰো, তেতিয়া there is a separate section or separate unit called tropical forest ecology. So because moi eneke bisora nai je amar say I do not want to go and study savanna amar yate poribole dorkar nai iman kini, because ami janibo lage je amar actually ase ki etia moi janibo lage dipor bill ki hoy, moi janibo lagibo je ohomor juntu dipor bill ba wetland bilakor সম্পদ কি হয়. So এনেকে এটা syllabus to আমি ডিজাইন কৰিছো যত আমি ট্ৰাই কৰিছো যে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ যোনটো অসমৰ যোনটো ইউনিকনেছ হয় या নৰ্থ ইষ্টৰ যোনটো ইউনিকনেছ হয় এইটো ৰিফ্লেক্ট হয়। আৰু মোক লাগে যে এনেকে যোনটো আপুনি এটা প্লেটফৰ্ম দিছে সবকে নিজৰ এইটো ভিউজ বিলাক ব্যক্ত কৰিবৰ কাৰণে, I think this will go a long way in igniting the young minds to know the value of our forest, to know the resources that we have, and to know what we are losing also. That is also very important. Yes.
So thank you. Actually, you know, Mr. Sharma, the thing is that I started my evening today by saying that there's cultural heritage and there's natural heritage. Janake, ami kali, if the songs we make, ami jodi gan khini bonao, amar jodi gan bonwa kali beya hoy, jodi music bonwa to amar beya hoy, apnaloke janake kobo, because just because we are cultural practitioners, culture is not our domain only. It is not just ours to keep. Culture belongs to everybody. The culture of the land is as much mine as it is yours.
Joyita, moi apunak eta bostu ko. So it's a very very interesting correlation. Jodi apuni world or jot biodiversity jaga ase, region ase, tar uporot apuni jodi linguistic diversity eta map to bhorai diye, okay, apuni eta strong correlation pabo. So biodiversity is not only about animal or plant. It's a cultural. It's an intrinsic.
Manor ata loko history. The folk culture of a place is, you know, directly proportional to the biodiversity of things inside. And without that sense of biodiversity, there would not be folk culture in terms of music that musicians practice. And that is the reason. I know for discussions like this, you know, you have less viewership, but that is the problem that we are addressing, and that is the problem we will address. All of us from different walks of life have to come together. Culture cannot just belong to the cultural practitioners as much as the natural heritage cannot just belong to the academics of nature. Absolutely. All of us, it's a legacy which is handed down to all of us. And it is the duty of all of us. Amar hokolor hetu eta daitto that we come very strongly for any loss that we are facing, and we celebrate everything.
Yes.
You know, you've done a couple of sessions with me, Mr. Sharma, but what I really appreciate the fact that your students love you. I think that's a great sign. And when students love a teacher, I think the lessons are being taught very right. That is very important. Because আমি generally কি হয় যে I think আমার একটা tunnel vision আছে. I think we need to be really go out of this tunnel vision and look at a place from a multiple perspective. So it's not only about the biodiversity. Since I'm working on monkeys, so I shouldn't be very, very restricted to monkeys only. I shouldn't be bothered about cultural diversity. I shouldn't bother about livelihood issues. I don't be bothered about what are the economic issues of that place. I think now the boundary of discipline is blurring. So there is no boundary as far as I am concerned. No, I think they're interlapping. They're interlapping. The boundaries are interlapping.
So I think what we need to do is to diffuse these boundaries and try to bring Janeke Apuni as an artist, Asalata Devi is an ecologist, biologist. So eneke bibhinno dhoroner manu anile ki hoy je eta particular jagar value to, I think holistically আমি বুঝি পাও. So that's very important nowadays. So you need to
No,
understand.
I think
Yeah.
that has been my only intention, Mr. Sharma, as you know, in my last week and 10 days, that to bring different people to care about the environment.
Absolutely.
If everything was left to schools, colleges, and things, it is not going to work. That is what I feel. I could be criticized for saying this, but the resources of a place, the heritage of a place belongs to everybody, and that is important. That is important, and it is handed down to us, and we must live and we must breathe the idea of the heritage that we have inherited. And Mr. Sharma, I know you're a very busy man. I'll take your leave today because I've been taking your time too many times in the last few days. But thank you, and absolutely an honor to talk to you always.
Likewise.
And and please bless us in these journeys ahead. That is all I can ask of you.
So it's not a blessing. I think we need to work together. So I believe in working together. Yeah.
This journey has just started. Thank you, and good evening to you. Yeah. Bye. So that was the most amazing Mr. Narayan Sharma. I think a lot of his students love him, which is amazing. And there's Titir Devnath, who has written, and this is so hard. The Narayan sir is definitely one of the best teachers of the nation. Thanks for giving the opportunity to listen to him. We are walking this journey together. Okay, madam, coming back to you quickly. We just have time for one quick answer. The thing is that, we have about 3 minutes left. So the thing is that, nearly 10% of the Amazon rainforests have been depleted from 2005 to 2015 in terms of mining. 10% of a forest has gone in 10 years of mining in this millennium, 2005 to 15. That is the impact of mining, and now technologies will get better, and it won't take 100 years to deplete a forest. A whole forest system can collapse in probably 50 years. What has mining done to our region in terms of wildlife, the plant and trees? To our region, I mean the Northeast. I want you to speak for the Northeast. What has it done to our plant life, indigenous practices, people? Can you give us a brief answer? I know this is not a brief answer, but can you please give us a brief answer? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, any sort of the activities that led to a degradation of forest now. And tropical rainforest, when we talk about, it is very rich in natural resources. Tapping of the resources is going on because of demand of needs. But to have the multiple effects in terms of that, it threats the environment and the livelihood. So when we talk about the mining, it is the large-scale degradation of the forest. It's felling of the trees. When we talk about the felling of the trees, means we are depriving the food resources and habitat of the numbers of the wild animals present out here. And when we talk about the socio-economic livelihood of local peoples out there, peoples are asked to displace, then some of the local peoples, ethnic peoples, their socio-cultural livelihoods and their practice are closely interrelated with the nature. So if they have to move away from their natural habitat, then there is the loss of the cultural diversity, also loss of the old kind of traditional ecological knowledge system that are associated with the people. So in one sense, it do have the drastic erosions of the cultural diversity of the nations of the particular regions. If we talk about northeastern regions also, and then massive loss of the number of the important species in terms of the plants and animals. And that will have a massive impact in the maintaining the ecological balance of the system. In addition to that, the different kind of the pollution problems exerted.
And on the top, can you roll off just one fact? Can you tell us that that organism or animal or plant or animal that has suffered because of this sort of mining in the Northeast? Can you tell us an animal or a species, or a bird? Can you just tell us like 1 or 2, 3 names? At least people need to know a name that has suffered.
In Meghalaya, you see that all minings do affect the forest. And there are the grievance populations out there. I actually don't remember the forests out there. So forests are fragmented, This particular halak gibbons, they are the arboreans. They are truly arboreans. They actually remains on the forest canopy layers. So if forests are fell down and forests are fragmented, they do remain confined in a particular isolated area, and they are becoming kind of the threat in that particular area. And if they come down in search of food, also they cannot work first access, and they become the victim for the wild dogs. Also, the encounters with the human means elephant conflicts. That many things do happen. So means the survival of hollow gibbons, the habitat of hollow gibbons, we say is also the one of the prime examples that we can see from the Meghalaya.
Okay. I think, ma'am, we'll continue this discussion on forums. We will need your help to walk this. But
yes.
I wanted a cross section of people, because there are so many problems that the environment is facing. So it has. I just wanted capsules from different stakeholders, educationists, researchers, journalists, and we are kind of packaging a lot of information into this thing today, as much as we can, but as simple as we can. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for being with us. And because we are with the Sentinel today, and because I'm from Assam, this has been a little Assam specific, but the idea has to be Northeast inclusive, which will happen very soon. And I will need your blessings on that. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good evening to you. Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Yes, dear.
Okay, that was Ashalata Devi. And now we have Sushanta Talukdar. Thank you, Sushanta da, for joining us. Apni aha karone bhal lagise. Aru ami jonto amar social media ami kotha pati asu. We have taken this ahead to the Sentinel. I'm very glad to the Sentinel for giving us this forum in terms of discussing world, our problem, the World Environment Day today being World Environment Day. So Sushanta, you've had an amazing career. You are carrying on in a very different way. You've got your own AnyZine, which is an app and a portal. And I'm so glad that you are focusing your energy. Apnalokor nista manor experience to amak locally lage. You have given to the world. We needed a local focus from you. Yeah. And for people who know and don't know Sushanta Talukdar, so he's been part of the Telegraph, he's been part of the Hindu, and the most amazing names and brands. And just I'm getting in the same room. I'm getting in Afrida. All right. So that's my friend Afrida. Hi, Afrida. Good evening to you.
Hi.
Hi,
Joy. Hi, how are you? Good to be
I'm very
on
well.
Sentinel today on World Environment Day.
Yes. It's good to be on that. Amar Dorfabok Jona. Yeah. The Afrida and we had gone to school together. My school junior, but I'm so proud of her. She was with Times Now. It's a mirror now. And one of the most amazing, inspiring journalists to come out of Assam. I think she's a role model. So I have one question for each of them. Yeah. So Shandara, the first question to you is, as a journalist, how much importance is given to an article on environment and ecosystem that you have to publish in an Assamese journal or in a national journal by newspaper? How much importance? If there is a problem, is it because of a lack of readership, or they're not being pushed by people and academics who can, and people who are in power, who are in position to push? So that's my thing. Kiman importance dia hai Ohomia journal, national journal, environmental article. Apne nije korise. So you tell us.
One of the problem to irrespective of languages, it's in fact actually media character has changed. So it is the market that is deciding the space used in media. No? So then there are people, there are investors who are interested in these areas, and they don't want they describe some certain areas to be no-go areas, where they would not like too many discussions in the public domain. That could be one of the reasons, rather than the editorial side or the reader side. But then whatever little space we may still give, that probably it is on us. We have failed to tell the correct stories and in right perspective. because as a media person also, we have not been able to go in depth, and we have failed to work with the academics, because you have begun your session with two great environmentalists and the academic, Narayan Sharma, Salata Devi. They are actually mine of information, and then we have not developed that proper communication, science communication as a whole, not just media, as a community. We have not developed the science communication.
আপনি মানে journalist খিনিক কৈছে যে they have not really optimized their
Yes.
their experience
Yes.
into reporting environment. That is a big thing.
Yes.
That is a big wow.
Because environment reporting, we have reduced it to reporting on species, reporting on some few national parks, and then we have not. We have actually, in fact, we have lost sight of the larger ecosystem, then connect it with the political ecology, the politics behind this ecology, mining, all in totality, we have failed to draw a larger picture. That's why.
Okay.
So we are not able to relate it to the people's life. When people's lives are being affected, animals' lives are being affected by certain activities. So we have not been able to tell that, and then we are focusing on too much on the glamour spaces, glamour parks, and few sites, and then we are neglecting the areas which should have got our priorities. Like, I mean, all these days we have been discussing about Dihing Patkai, the rainforest. So it's a rainforest. It's not just a term, no. I mean, but then our knowledge is very limited. I mean, we have reported Dihing Patkai only when the news about coal mining came into the public domain. But have we cared? Have we utilized the space to tell how diverse or how wonderful this rainforest site is? And what do we actually mean by rainforest? In this year, we have to take the help of the academics like Narayan Sharma and all others who have tremendous knowledge. And then we are not, well, I mean, we have not developed the correct way of storytelling. I mean, we are reporting on events, we're reporting on news, but then we are not telling the stories. So the stories have to be told, and then we have not, now even the multimedia platform has given us the space. Now there is no question of problem with the space. We have the space now. Now you can publish a video, you can publish n number of photographs, you can carry a graphics. So everything can be published. It's possible, and it is in all the media ecosystem. It is available now. So we cannot blame anyone except us. Now we have to tell the stories.
I think Sushant da apni jontু kotha koise etia aru excuse nai সর্বসাধারণ ভাষাত যদি মই বুজিব লাগে হয় এতিয়া কোনো এক্সকিউজ নাই আৰু মই এটা বস্তু ভাল পাইছো যে আপনি আমি সকলোৱে নিজৰ ফেইলিয়ৰটো চাব লাগিব only then we can move to success, only then we can find a better road. And I think the admittance of our shortcomings, the admittance of what we have not been able to do is the first step towards finding the light that we can, that we must. Aro, thank you being such a senior respected journalist that you have chosen to come out with such an amazing truth is a reason we all respect you. Aro atake dangor kotha kil amar etu bostu apnar ko article rupa eta amar jono movement hoisile etu apnar article rupa hol bostu to. So as long as you're writing, you're igniting minds. I brought along people, there are other people who are bringing other people. Apnar bostu to jothesto chorcha hol, manhe kotha pata arambo hol. So I think you started walking, and like the Johnny Walker man, please keep walking, please keep enlightening. I know your time is short, but মই আপোনাক যাব দিছো কাৰণ আৰু আপনি ভাল ভাল আৰ্টিকেল লিখক so that it fires the Assamese imagination of things. Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Please carry on. Yeah. Good evening. So, all right. And that was the most amazing Sushant Doda. He's an inspiration. Aru, he's ever smiling. I think mane hikibologya kotha bahut khini ase in terms of how to make an honest story and how to come and inspire generation next. All right, coming back to you, Afrida. Thanks for waiting, and I mean, we won't make you wait long.
No problem.
I know
at
all of you are busy,
Not
but
at all.
thanks for sparing the time. So, Afrida, now you worked in the national milieu and be a part of other things, and you are like a small you are a small town girl from Jorhat who understands what it is to go
Absolutely.
from a Jorhat
Yes.
to a Mumbai. You have done the journey, and that is appreciable. Or more what I call, since we again met up in Mumbai, that you will be a role model, and that's the reason I want people like you here. সেইকাৰণে তোমালোকৰ নিচিনা ইয়াত আহিব লাগিব কাৰণে মানুহে দেখিব লাগিব that things are possible, and that you can walk the right road and you can do the good fight. So anyway,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's enough of a good introduction. Coming back to what I really wanted to ask you, Frida, what is আমি অসমীয়া ইংলিশ দুটাতে কথা পাতিম, মানে এটাই প্ৰশ্ন আছে, you can explain it in অসমীয়া and English.
Sure.
So what is the role of
Sure.
the national media? What is the role, if at all, of the national media with regard to an article on environment? Is it responsible? Does it have a responsibility, or doesn't have a responsibility? And is it expected of them? Or the decisions that go into broadcast are not the decisions of journalists?
Right. These are very important questions, Joy. I want to first bring out some clarity on how stories make it to national media. Let's not forget that every medium has certain constraints. Now, when we talk about national media, of course, it covers print and electronic and now digital media as well. It doesn't only speak about TV. And I work for a TV news channel. But I want to explain to you that every medium has its own specific constraints. For example, when you talk about national TV news, the one important thing is that we are often tied down to visuals. We need a visual story to make it to our primetime shows or to make it to the news menu every day, because it's an audio-visual medium. Whereas for a print medium, you can write without having to perhaps rely too much on the pictures or visuals. But we are in a way constrained by the fact that we need a lot of visual substance to support the story. So just to make people understand that a lot of stories don't make it to the news menu sometimes because we don't get the footage from the local reporters on time. So, and television is one such thing where every day it's very dynamic. The priority in news keeps changing. So that is one. The question that you asked me is that what is the responsibility of national media in bringing out these issues? And I assume you're also referring to issues like
if at all there is a responsibility.
There is, because it's such a powerful medium. The mileage is huge. I mean, like I said, because it's an audiovisual medium, because it reaches people's drawing rooms every day, the reach of television news is huge, and the impact is huge. It registers better, and therefore the responsibility is huge. With great power comes great responsibility. So I feel, again, at a personal level, I can tell you that the biggest responsibility that we have as journalists is to make people aware of their rights and privileges. A lot of time people don't know about where they should stand up, where they should speak up, and our job is to contextualize things. Our job is to simplify things and break down the jargon, and a lot of times when issues come up, people don't know the backstory. So our job is to bring out, like someone like Sushanto Talukdar, many other journalists in Assam are doing a fabulous job of reporting these stories from the interior parts of Assam in the newspapers, and television picks it up from there. So that is how, in terms of how the workflow goes, each of these steps are important. It's important for the print to take up this story, and that sometimes becomes a stepping stone for TV journalists, because let's face it, a lot of us depend on the reportage from ground that happens from states and districts and interior parts, because some of these TV stations are based in metros, so we are very dependent on the network of people. So I would say two things, at least, when it comes to the responsibility of coverage in national media. One, we have to strengthen the local network of news, and our local people will have to be extremely aware, and the people who are reporting from those locations should also pitch these stories very strongly so that national media, gets the right information, the right footage on time. So all these things are important. And yes,
So you are
responsibility-wise, Joy, it's huge.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what you're saying is that there must be, you need local support to kind of
Yes,
do what
that's
you
what
have
I'm
to do.
saying.
You need.
Yes.
It's always a fight. সদায় এটা fight থাকিব, এটা যন্ত্ৰণা থাকিব, কিন্তু local levelৰ যোনখিনি journalist হয়, যোনখিনি মানে কাম কৰিছে, সেইখিনি they should definitely go forward
Be more
in
active.
getting this.
Yes.
Yes.
আৰু হয় কি অসমীয়া যেতিয়া আমি দেখো যে নেশ্যনেল মিডিয়াৰো বহুতখিনি অসমীয়া ৰিপ্ৰেজেন্টেটিভ আছে, বাট দে আৰ নট ফ্ৰম এছাম, চ' এইটো এটা প্ৰব্লেম হৈ যায়। মই নিজে অসমত ৰিপৰ্টিং কৰোঁতে মই দেখিছো যে যিহেতু মই অসমীয়া ছোৱালী হৈ পেলাই যেতিয়া মই অসমত ৰিপৰ্টিং কৰোঁ আৰু লোকেল লেংগুৱেজত কথা পাতিব পাৰোঁ, সেইটো এটা বিগ ডিফাৰেঞ্চ। বাট নেশ্যনেল মিডিয়াই যদি নন আছামিজ এমপ্লয় কৰি ৰাখে অসমত, সেইটোও এটা কেতিয়াবা প্ৰব্লেম হয়, যদিও আই হেভ নাথিং এগেইনষ্ট ইট। But all I'm saying is that it makes the job much easier when you come from that place. So there should be more people, journalists coming out of Assam, working in the national media, jate Assamor issues bilak, environment issues hawk, no issue hawk, okoman jate hekini issues ami aro olop bhalke representation dibo paru.
মানে কমন লেংগুৱেজত যদি মই যাম বুজিব খোজো, আমি যদি আমাৰ ইস্যুবোৰ নেশ্যনেল লেভেলত publish or establish what to বিচাৰিছো, then the journalist from Assam has to try to go to the national level.
Yes. They have to be very proactive. Yes, very proactive. Etu okol Asomor khetrete noy, take any state, like the editors sitting every day on an edit meeting will have a audio video conference with the reporters from across bureaus. So individually each person will have to pitch very strongly for these stories. Dihing Patkai kyo amar prime time or discuss hobo nware, hobo pare. It is because somebody is not pitching it right. And
it has to be interesting, right? It has to be interestingly pitched. It has to be interestingly pitched,
absolutely.
right?
Sushanta dai jitu kole the art of storytelling, hey bostutu khub important, because amar hatot jodi 25 stories ase aru ami lobo paru okol 5ta, hey 5tar bhitorot ami Dihing Patkai story to anibo lagibo in national media, tar karone the local journalists will have to pitch it that way. And the editors also, of course, have a responsibility. And sometimes, like you said, not the anchors or the reporters, they don't have all the powers, but they can pitch. And everybody is heard in a newsroom. Everybody is heard in an edit meeting. That much I can assure you.
I think for any would-be journalist, this was the most amazing 5 minutes of advice they would have got from somebody who's in the thick of action. Thank you, Afrida, for enlightening those future journalists about what journalism is on World Environment Day. It's a beautiful day to get enlightenment.
Thank you so much.
I think you're amazing.
It was my pleasure entirely, Joy. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Very good evening to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. And the most amazing Afrida. And now we have Deborshi, and hello. I wanted Deborshi to hi, and I wanted him to share space with Dharini. Dharini, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
So we are blitzing through the people today. I think I wanted short capsules for everybody. So for the viewers and everybody, Deborshi is from the Dihing Patkai region. So he has lived among the forests, among the people. So he will tell us on the occasion of World Environment Day how beautiful what we have is. And Dharini comes from the work of climate change. She works with Climate Action Network International. And I wanted somebody from deep within us to connect to Dharini on this. We'll have short pieces, one question each. So can we just start with Deborshi? And Dharini, I wanted you to be hearing while, the man from the region itself. So Deborshi, why don't you tell us how beautiful. Kiman Dhunia. So I think this has to be in English because there's Dharini there. So please enlighten us. Yeah.
That's fine. You can go ahead.
Actually, Dihing Patkai is close to everybody, the college where I teach, that college is sharing boundary with Dihing Patkai. And If you go to Dihing Patkai, then the person who have visited Dihing Patkai for the first time, no, he will come to know what place this is. During this time, it is difficult to enter Dihing Patkai rainforest. It is so thick, and you cannot see the sun rays falling down, no, in many parts of the Dihing Patkai now in this season. And basically, when we go there, we basically go for bird watching. Because Dihing Patkai is a very, it is one of the most demanded birding spot, because there are many species, because we know that it is home to around 80% of the white-winged duck population of India. Around 20% are in Nameri and some in 2 or 3 in Gibbon Wildlife Sanctuary, but rest of the population is in Dihing Patkai. And apart from that, we have 2 restricted range species like the Austin's brown hornbill. We have Chestnut-back laughing thrush. Actually, Chestnut-back laughing thrush, it is found in my college also. No? They do the nesting in this time. And apart from that, we have a good population of elephants. Then, as we have already known that 7 types of wildcats have been discovered, has been recorded from in that area. And there is also sighting record of another one, that is the fishing cat. But we don't have the photographic evidence. And in case we get the photographic evidence, then it will be around 8 species of wildcats in one place. Moreover, there are 5 species of hornbills. Then we have 8 species of kingfishers. The rarest kingfisher, the black kingfisher, has been recorded in the month of March, 2nd March, on the World Wetland Day. We have discovered, we have recorded that bird. Then apart from that, there is around 300 plus species of butterflies. We have around 101 species of orchids. Then not only that, I am not talking about the entire forest area, but the locality, like our college campus. In our college campus also, we have recorded 177 species of birds. We have 5 species of squirrels. In our college, we have recorded red giant flying squirrel. We have Malayan giant squirrel. Then we have 2 strip Himalayan squirrels.
Have you ever seen flying, Dharini? Have you ever seen flying squirrels?
Yes,
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any of these
Dharini, this is
beautiful
for Dharini.
biodiversity. I have never seen, no.
Oh yeah, flying squirrels are a whole other thing onto themselves. They are like very large bats, and they are quite freaky, and they can really scare things out of you. I was born in Big Boy near that reserve. I have grown up with flying squirrels, and they are a different kind of thing, and they're quite terrifying. They come out in the evening, so they're quite terrifying. You know, they have web between the feet, between the front and the rear feet. They're webbed. They're webbed creatures. They fly they jump between big trees.
Okay.
That's why they look like flying. It's the most amazing, and it's a little unsettling.
Okay.
It's a little unsettling. So nature will surprise you everywhere you go. You think you've seen it all. You have not seen it all. So it's one of those things.
In 2013, I photographed one flying lizard. Okay, actually we could not identify. 2 other friends were there in that particular trip in Saraipur, and that flying lizard, actually we have seen it for the first time. We photographed it. Then it was sent, actually circulated in the social media for identification. And the expert said that it is Norway's flying lizard. And that was the 2nd sighting record after 117 years in that area. Okay, it is, and apart from that, means those who have not visited Dihing Patkai, it is difficult for me to explain them. So I would request everyone that you please come to this place. You can then imagine that how rich this forest is.
We will take that. We will take your invitation up, Debashri. Thank you. I have a lot of people now who want to go there and just enjoy the thing. I think Dharini would also happily come along to see flying squirrels and flying lizards. But thank you, Debashri. I'll just have one thing with Dharini. So Dharini, you come from the position of climate and understanding what climate is. On World Environment Day, I want you to tell us what's going wrong with the climate in a short way, and if something is going right somewhere, where people have done something to reverse a wrong trend? You know, have there been changes
Yeah.
where
I mean,
yeah.
So what is happening right now is that we are in a climate emergency. So
Yeah.
this is an emergency that is happening along with the other emergencies that we face, which is the
Right.
current COVID pandemic, the economic
Right.
crisis.
Right.
But the climate emergency is one which we don't have any easy and short answers to. It requires
Right.
really sustained efforts at all levels of society. So this is the government, this is the local level, international level, to reduce global warming to 1.5 degrees, which is the temperature threshold that would actually keep us in somewhat of a safe climate space. We have seen resistance movements that have been very successful. In fact, just a few days ago, there was a journal article that looked at environmental defenders in different conflict zones all around the world. So this was a peer-reviewed article that actually came out with a very clear finding that grassroots movements are a very, very important aspect of our sustainable futures. Keeping activists on the ground, supporting them, making sure that they are protected, because they, I think, pay the highest price in some sense for protecting the environment. Many of them face threats from the government, they can face job losses, they can face harassment. I mean, you know it, you work there.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you this. And, the real resistance is going to come from people in the region who are opposing the extraction of fossil fuels, who are opposing the deforestation that is happening. You mentioned such beautiful species in the forest, and I really hope, I mean, it's really a sad thing to be sitting in a lockdown when I hear how beautiful these forests are. And I've never been to the Northeast, so I've always wanted to go. But, for instance, you talk about, we've seen in the news this elephant in Kerala who was, the elephant that was tortured and killed, and that is one elephant. But imagine the government actually expanding coal mines in a forest and destroying hundreds and thousands of species, hundreds of really, very rare species that will never come back. And so that is a criminal act, a criminal act by the government to expand into forest areas when we know, when the science has told us, when local communities and indigenous peoples have told us that their survival depends on the forests. Our future depends on the forests, and this is the forest all around the world. The forest in Assam is as important as a forest in Brazil or Africa, so our collective strength and our collective solidarity has to be with protecting people who are on the front lines of these fights. And I really think it's amazing that you've brought this issue to light, and you're bringing in more and more people to talk about this, because we know that this is happening on a scale that is extremely concerning. We've seen governments approve projects now under a lockdown without civil society participation, just through doing it through back deals with the coal mafia, with the oil mafia. So we need to stand up and we need to say, this is enough. And I think young people are doing this, and that is the most encouraging thing we're seeing now with, as you said, what are the successful examples? The successful examples are the young people who are now saying, we won't take this anymore.
Yes. I think that's finally standing up for what it is. I was on Twitter today. There, some American general has stood up and said, and he was, unfortunately, he was supposed to be like a lapdog, and that was the term used. But he says this is wrong, and I think I don't think it's right or wrong, but it's like all lives matter, right? Every life matters.
But we know there are some people who face specific harm and specific
right.
Protect
And
those people,
Yeah, right. So on that note, I'll take leave from both of you. Thank you for joining us. We wanted the audience today to get an understanding in small and simple doses of what's happening, and there are some more brilliant people joining us. But thank you so much, Dharini. And since you've not been to Assam and to the Northeast,
you
you've
so
made a lot of
much.
friends. You made a lot of friends here. That includes Deborshi and me and a few other people, as you know. So we'll
I will
take you around Assam.
definitely take you up on that.
Please,
Yeah,
please
I
come.
can't
I think
wait.
you've
I
made.
really can't. I have a very good reason to come visit now. Very good reason.
We-
And I'm very honored and I'm very thankful for all the work that you're doing. And I'll be a supporter and someone who's championing your cause.
Thank you. We look forward to
Thank
catching
you.
up on this again. Thank you, Dharini.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Deborshi. Thank you. Have a good evening, both of you. Yeah. So that was the most amazing Dharini and Deborshi. So what's happened in the last 2 days is that in the last 24 hours, actually, the news had come that just a second. So we have had writ petitions filed at the High Court, and the Guwahati High Court has issued a suo motu notice, and to the coal mining stakeholders, the government, they would want to know what's happening. They have evidence, and we have two of the people who did this. There were two sets of lawyers who did this, and I have Mr. Mrinmoy Khatoniar. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And
I thank Sentinel.com for organizing this, and thank you too for inviting me.
Yes. And really, I think Sentinel has been providing an amazing platform for different kind of discussions.
Yeah, it's an amazing platform.
Yeah. Rome was not built in a day, and I think Sentinel realizes that. And
Sentinel has always been a sentinel of Assam.
I know, and they're living up to their name. And we are, and good to be doing the right with Sentinel that way.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have your friend, Mr. Vikram Rajkwa. Good evening.
Good evening.
So good evening. A dozen lawyer, they have had petitions filed. Our Hekan at a so notice goise. So just while I'm fixing my charger, my camera could be off, but Vikram Rajkwa, why don't you start in a small way? We'll have 5 minutes for both of you to explain. Apnar about Dunia story ase, but I will come back to that story. But just in like 2 minutes, explain the suo motu notice and just wait for me. What is the suo motu notice to Kiol? Just explain in 2 minutes, please, while I come back to you. I'm just fixing up the charging. Yeah.
Hi.
Please carry on.
ইতিমধ্যে অসমবাসী ৰাইজে গম পাইছে যে দিহিং পাটকাই অঞ্চলত যি অবৈধভাৱে কয়লা খনন চলি আছে সেয়া লৈ পেলাই আমি ইলেক্ট্ৰনিক প্ৰিণ্ট আৰু ছ'চিয়েল মিডিয়াত যথেষ্ট চৰ্চা চলিছে আৰু ইতিমধ্যে আপোনাৰ 3খন কৰি ৰাজহুৱা স্বাৰ্থ আবেদন PIL আপোনাৰ সাবমিট হৈছে গুৱাহাটী হাইকোৰ্টত প্ৰথমখন আপোনাৰ এই ইস্যুটো যথেষ্ট গুৰুত্ব সহকাৰে লৈছে আপোনাৰ মাননীয় উচ্চ ন্যায়ালয় আৰু মাননীয় উচ্চ ন্যায়ালয় এখন suo motu PIL এখন ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিছে তাৰ উপৰি 2 নম্বৰ PIL খন মোৰ বন্ধু তেখেত অধিবক্তা মৃন্ময় খাটনিয়াৰ আৰু তেখেতৰ বন্ধু অমৰজ্যোতি ডেকা মাউণ্টেনিয়াৰ তেওঁলোকে ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিছে সাবমিট কৰিছে আৰু এখন PIL মোৰ সিনিয়ৰ কলিগ শান্তনু বৰঠাকুৰ অধিবক্তা আৰু মই ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিছো আৰু এই 3খন PIL যোৱাকালি on the eve of environment day কালি 3খনে কোৰ্টত উঠিছিলে আৰু কোৰ্টে নোটিছ ইস্যু কৰিছে সেন্ট্ৰেল গভৰ্নমেন্ট ষ্টেট গভৰ্নমেন্ট সৰি আৰু তাৰ উপৰি আপোনাৰ এতিয়া জুলাই 14 তাৰিখে আপোনাৰ এই ৰেসপন্ডেন্ট অথৰিটি এফিডেভিট দাখিল কৰিবৰ কাৰণে ডাইৰেকশন দিছে আৰু 20 জুলাইত আকৌ ইয়াৰ শুনানি হ'ব হয় জয়
Okay, হয় so quickly আপনি আপোনালোকৰ কালি কথা পাতিতে আজি আপোনাৰ এটা ধুনীয়া ষ্টৰী আছে কাজিৰঙা
নাই জয়
Okay, hello Mrinmoy, can you hear me? Mrinmoy Khatoniar?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I think you need to log in and log out again. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Mr. Rajkhwa, আপোনাৰ এটা বৰ ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং ষ্টৰী আছে কাজিৰঙা লৈ পেলাই আৰু এজন শিকাৰী নামৰ মানুহ নে কিবা and that
হয়,
kind
হয়।
of formulate that kind of gave you an idea. আমাক অলপ চমুকে ক'ব নেকি কথা?
নাই নিশ্চয় কম আপোনাৰ অলৰেডি আপোনাৰ স্পিকাৰ যথেষ্ট বিভিন্ন স্পিকাৰে কৈছে যে ইয়াৰে যিসকল লোকেল আৰু থলুৱা মানুহ আছে তেওঁলোকৰ ইনভলভমেণ্ট খুবেই ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আৰু ময়ো ভাবোঁ যে পিপলছ পাৰ্টিচিপেশ্যন ইন ফৰেষ্ট মেনেজমেণ্ট ইজ দ্য ৱে টু প্ৰটেক্ট আৱাৰ ফৰেষ্ট এৰিয়াজ আৰু মই এটা সৰু আপোনাক এটা ষ্টৰী কৈছোঁ আমি কাজিৰঙাৰ বিষয়ে চবেই জানো গোটেই পৃথিৱীত কাজিৰঙা আজিকালি যথেষ্ট আপোনাৰ চবে খুব ফেমাছ কিন্তু হয়তো এই কাজিৰঙাৰ কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন এফৰ্ট তত যে এজন থলুৱা তাৰে খিলঞ্জীয়া মানুহ আছে তেওঁৰ নাম হ'ল নিগনা চিকাৰী মানে তেখেত আপোনাৰ চিকাৰী নহয় বা পোচাৰ নহয় তেওঁৰ যথেষ্ট ৱাইল্ড লাইফৰ নলেজ আছিলে জন্তুৰ বিষয়ে তেখেতে জানে আৰু সেইকাৰণে তেখেতক নিগনা চিকাৰী বুলি কৈছিলে তেখেতৰ আচল নাম আছিলে বাপিৰাম হাজৰিকা আৰু বাপিৰাম হাজৰিকাৰ এটা ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং ষ্টৰী এইটো আপোনাৰ আৰ্লি 1900ত যেতিয়া আপোনাৰ কাজিৰঙাৰ ওচৰতে আপোনাৰ নাহৰজান বুলি টি ষ্টেট এখন আছিলে আৰু তাৰে যোনজন মানে মেনেজ কৰিছিলে টি ষ্টেটখন তেওঁ ওৱান মিষ্টাৰ ফৰ্বছ আৰু তেখেত মানে আপোনাৰ লৰ্ড আৰু লেডি কাৰ্জন ব্ৰিটিছ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ভাইচৰয় আছিলে তেওঁলোকৰ ডিষ্টেণ্ট ৰিলেটিভ হয় আৰু এবাৰ আপোনাৰ কি হ'ল লেডি কাৰ্জন তেখেত কাজিৰঙা ভিজিট কৰিব আহিলে তেখেতে শুনিছিলে ইয়াতে বহুত জন্তু পায় আৰু মিষ্টাৰ ফৰ্বছে তেতিয়া বাপিৰাম হাজৰিকা নিগনা চিকাৰীক তেখেতক মাতিলে তেখেতৰ যিহেতু অভিজ্ঞতা আছে আৰু নিগনা চিকাৰী তেখেত মাহতো আছিলে আৰু 3টা হাতীৰে তেওঁলোকে ওলাই গ'ল আপোনাৰ জন্তু চাবলৈ বিশেষকৈ গড় চাবলৈ কিন্তু গোটেই দিনটো তেওঁলোকে ঘূৰি পেলাইও মানে এটা গড়ো নেদেখিলে ডিষ্টেণ্টত এটা গড় দেখিলে যেতিয়া ওচৰলৈ গ'ল তেওঁলোকে হাতীটো লৈ পেলাই তেতিয়া গড়টো ইতিমধ্যে তেওঁলোকে অৰণ্যৰ ভিতৰলৈ সোমাই গ'ল জংঘলৰ ভিতৰলৈ সোমাই গ'ল তো লেডি কাৰ্জন তেওঁ কনভিন্স নহ'লে যে ইয়াতে যে গড় পায় বুলি আৰু তেতিয়া নিগনা চিকাৰীয়ে লগালগ হাতীৰ পৰা নামি তেওঁক মানে এই গড়ৰ ফুটপ্ৰিণ্টটো দেখালে তো গড়ৰ আপোনাৰ ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং কি গড়ৰ আপোনাৰ 3টা টোজ থাকে whereas হাতীৰ আপোনাৰ 4টা টোজ থাকে তো তেতিয়া অলপ তেখেতে কনভিন্স হ'ল আৰু নিগনা চিকাৰীয়ে তেখেতক লেডি কাৰ্জনক তেখেতক ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰিলে যে আপোনাৰ ইয়াতে গড় মানে তেতিয়া আপোনাৰ ব্ৰিটিছে আপোনাৰ গেম ৰিজাৰ্ভ গড় হত্যা কৰে তো এই গড়বিলাকক বচাব লাগে প্ৰটেক্ট কৰিব লাগে আৰু শুনামতে পিছত লেডি কাৰ্জনে তেখেতে নিজৰ হাজবেণ্ডক এই ইমপ্ৰেছ কৰি আপোনাৰ এই যোনটো কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন এফৰ্ট সেইটো আৰম্ভ কৰিলে 1905ত আৰু ইতিমধ্যে 2005ত 100 ইয়াৰ্ছ আমি চেলিব্ৰেট কৰিছোঁ এতিয়া কাজিৰঙা ৱৰ্ল্ড হেৰিটেজ চাইট বুলি জানে আৰু আপোনাৰ ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং ফেক্ট হ'ল যে কাজিৰঙাৰ আমি যদি 6টা এডিশ্যনছ লওঁ ইট ইজ এজ বিগ এজ ছিংগাপুৰ চ' মই সেইটোৱে ক'ব বিচাৰোঁ যে ইয়াতে আপোনাৰ থলুৱা খিলঞ্জীয়া মানুহৰ যোনখিনি ফ্ৰিঞ্জ এৰিয়াত থাকে ফৰেষ্টৰ তেওঁলোকৰ ৰোলটো খুবেই ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আৰু আমি যদি প্ৰেজেণ্ট ডেটো চাওঁ আপোনাৰ যাদৱ পায়েং ডাঙৰীয়া আছে তেখেতে অকলে আজি নিউয়ৰ্কৰ চেণ্ট্ৰেল পাৰ্কৰ সমান ডাঙৰ এখন ফৰেষ্ট এৰিয়া তেওঁ নিজে গঢ়ি তুলিছে তো আমাৰ মাজতে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আপোনাৰ ৰোল মডেল আছে এক্সাম্পল আছে আৰু আমি তেওঁলোকৰ পৰা প্ৰেৰণিত আমি মানে ইমপ্ৰেছ আমি শিকিব লাগে
I think camera to connectivity problem was Mr. Rajkhwa.
Hi.
Mr. Khatonier, please be ready. I'm coming to you. But Mr. Vikram Rajkhwa, can you see me, hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can see you also.
Okay, I think the most appreciable part about what you said, apart from what you do as a lawyer, as an advocate, apnaloke to writ petition file korise, but you are grounded in the stories of a land. You are grounded in the ecosystem. Apni apnar law to jiman bhalke jane, apni Kazirangar history and Kaziranga folklore jane. That is important. This is more than this is our natural heritage. Everybody should know this. We have to culture our generations, our people to understand what heritage is. Our মানে এখন অকল হাবি বুলি পেলাই দিব নোৱাৰি এই হাবিখন কিমান প্ৰেচিয়াছ তাৰ ভিতৰত কি আছে আৰু আজিকালিতো এটা কথা ওলাইছে that all lives matter. It's very একদম এপ টাইমতে আহিছে. It's not just about somebody's life, it's not about race, it's not about color, it's all lives matter. I think it's very somebody আমি frame করা না able those things have come to us, but all across the world we have an apathy towards other people's lives and other living beings. Ataitke dangor kotha to I think Mr. Vikram Rajkoi is that as a lawyer you've not had a one dimensional life. You've taken care to understand the ecosystem and local people and history. How do we take a legacy forward? How do we take heritage forward? Thank you.
মই তাৰ মাজতে হয় মোক যদি 2 মিনিট দিয়া মই তাৰ মাজতে এটা কথা ক'ব বিচাৰো
Please do.
আজি হয়তো মোৰ লগত মৃন্ময়ো এগ্ৰি কৰিব যে মই এজন অধিবক্তা আৰু মই বিভিন্ন সময়ত ক্লায়েণ্টৰ কাৰণে এপিআই কৰোঁ মৃন্ময়ো তেনেকৈ এপিআই কৰে কিন্তু আজি এইবাৰ মই নিজে পিটিশ্যনাৰ হৈ আহিব লগা হৈছে পিটিশ্যনাৰ ইন পাৰ্চন হিচাপে আৰু মোৰ লিগেল কেৰিয়াৰত মই হয়তো ফাৰ্ষ্ট টাইম আহিছোঁ কিয়কি মই দেখা পাইছোঁ যে আজি এই COVID-19 পেণ্ডেমিকৰ সময়ত য'ত গোটেই পৃথিৱীখনে যুঁজি আছে সেই সময়ত আজি আপোনাৰ এই সালেকিত যি ইলিগেল কোল মাইনিং চলি আছে আপোনাৰ ভিডিঅ' কনফাৰেন্সিঙৰ যোগেৰে এপ্ৰুভেল দিয়া গৈছে তো সেইকাৰণে আৰু এই লকডাউন পিৰিয়ডত হয়তো আপোনাৰ বহুত মানুহ আহিব বিচাৰিছে তেওঁলোকে কিন্তু MHA গাইডলাইনৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে হয়তো তেওঁলোকৰ নিজৰ এৰিয়াৰ পৰা আহিব পৰা নাই সেইকাৰণে আমি বাধ্য হৈ আজি আমি মাননীয় উচ্চ ন্যায়ালয় কাষ চাপিব লগা হৈছে আৰু আমি আশা কৰোঁ যে আমি ডেফিনেটলি ৰিলিফ পাম
Thank you. Kali, we have known each other for 24 hours. But in the 24 hours, it is such amazing news. Kali, news to we have a long way to go, but we have to start.
We have got a long way to go.
We have got a long way to go. I know. But at least we started the journey.
জয় আপোনাৰ গান অসমবাসী ৰাইজে সবে ভাল পায় আৰু মই বিশেষকৈ আপোনাৰ এটা গান আপুনি যোনটো ন যুজৰ ৰনুৱা গানটো গাইছিলে আৰু ভিডিঅ'টো খুব ধুনীয়া হৈছে আৰু মই ভাল লাগিছে যে আপোনাৰ নতুন প্ৰজন্মই আজি ওলাই আহিছে আৰু ঠিক ন যুজৰ ৰনুৱা এজ এ নিউ এজ ৱাৰিয়ৰ ইকো ৱাৰিয়ৰ হিচাপে তেওঁলোক ওলাই আহিছে আৰু মাত মাতিছে খুবেই ভাল লাগিছে
They have to and they must. We have to start caring. Heritage to Kezonman Manok Committee, no, but it's unfair to them also. It's wrong of us, and it's also unfair to them to just think that they can carry on with a struggle which is everybody's. In the last 24 hours, I'm a very, very proud son of the soil. I'm very proud, and this is the biodiversity rainforest. Diversity of culturally and language-wise. Kali Brinmo Khatoniere Bob Dylan bhal pai ebli Okhomkan bhal napai niki abar kotha onaise he loves Dylan kintu Dylan bhal bole ami Bhupen Hazarika bhal pabo noharu niki kali ami Amazon bhal bole ami Dihing Patkai bhal pabo noharu pao that is the diversity we've learned aru ami janu karone amar moto diversity to ase and that is important and moi take koisu people should know and Mr. Rajkot, thank you for enlightening us. Not just network issues, so I'm kind of internet is behaving better. But thank you for being part of this. Really honored.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Joy. And very good initiative.
Really and thank you. Ami amar initiative korim. Apnalok vigilant thakok. You know the process of due law. Keneke jabo lage. আৰু আমাৰ মানুহখিনি অসমীয়া মানুহক আপোনালোকে এই ধৰণে শিকাওক যে what is the good fight. কালি যেতিয়া মই টুইট কৰিছো তেতিয়া সঞ্জুক্তাৰ পৰাশৰে she retweeted my thing যে আমি এটো জিকিলো যে জিকা নাই আমি এটা প্ৰচেছটো আৰম্ভ হৈ যায় but she said let's fight the good fight. That is important.
Yes.
That is important. Let's fight the good fight. Let's be educated. Let's have informed opinion. And I think that good fight has begun in a different way and you guys have led the way. Thank you so much, Vikram Rajkot, for joining us here. It's been a real honor, and I pledge to keep this up with you.
নিশ্চয় ধন্যবাদ
Thank you. Good evening to you, sir. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Coming back to Mr. Mrinmay Khatwaniar. And
Right, Joy.
hi.
বিক্ৰমৰ পৰা বহুত নতুন কথাও শিকিলো।
বহুত কথা শিকিলো। বহুত কথা আৰু বহুত কথা শিকিবলৈ আছে। I think we'll carry on.
আছে আৰু বহুত আছে।
বহুত আছে। এই এটা আলোকৰ যাত্ৰা আৰম্ভ হৈছে। আৰু no, I've been meeting amazing people from Assam আৰু খুব ভাল লাগিছে because I think আমাৰ I think মই আগৰখিনিক মই কোৱা নাই কিন্তু current generations have a kind of different pride. There's a different fight they have in them. We have and the people I'm meeting in the course of this have a different fight. Okay, coming back to you. We are always short on time. That's the problem. But I wanted to package in people with capsules of information, and so Mr. Mrinmay Khatwaniar, the thing is that you have a dynamic way of expressing things. You are in love with music. Janaki apni Dylan bhal pai. I'm sure apni Bhupen Hazarika, Jayanto Hazarika bhal pai. And apnar bhitor moi eta khongo dekhisu maje maje. There is something that ignited, or probably a fuse was blowing somewhere. There was a fuse. It was a long fuse, but it was not a short fuse. It was a long fuse that kept burning. So that our audience can buzi pai, kotha to ki hoy. So tell us what led to this. What led to this? Is it just apathy on people? Is it just frustration on your part? Ki hoy? Just feel free.
This whole thing started with a Facebook post. Save Dihing Patkai. When I saw this Coal India getting a mining lease renewed, even after destroying the whole area, so then it struck me that in India, moi all of dinor pa ami dekha pai asu. All of din nohoy mane over a period of my life, I've seen everyone shouts something to be very illegal. Andolon hoy, talks hoy, litigation hoy. আকৌ সেই ইলিগেল বিলাক কেতিয়াবা লিগেল হৈ যায়, লিগেলৰ পিছত থাকি যায়, সিহঁতি লিগেল হৈ যায়, আৰু কিছুমান ইলিগেল বস্তু হয়, আকৌ লিগেলাইজ হৈ যায়। So is it a process that everything starts with an illegality and then they get sanitized and they become legal? So সেইটো কথা মোক বিৰাট ষ্ট্ৰাইক কৰিলে। So আৰু এনেকুৱা কথা আছে যে অকল মই নহয়, চবৰে মনত এইটো আহিব। If you think honestly and with truth in your heart, then you'll always feel, because we are human beings and we have a connection with the nature's law.
Right.
Animals, they are nature's law follow kore. Only human beings they follow no kore. Kintu somewhere inside our spirit and soul, we also follow the nature's law. Amak conscience amak strike kore khoday. Kiba ta bhul hole. Kintu because of way of life, we tend to brush it away. So ei bilak dekhar pisot এজনে মোক ফোন কৰি ক'লে, তই যে লিগেল কৈ ইলিগেল কৰি পেলাই আকৌ লিগেলাইজ কৰিছ, তই আচল কথাটো জানো? মইতো আচল কথাটো নাজানো, মই যোনটো দেখিছো সেইটো কৈছো। তাৰপিছত সি কৈছে চেলেকি ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্টটো বহুত দূৰত ৱাইল্ড লাইফ চেঞ্চুৰীৰ পৰা, এইটো নৰ্মেল, এইটো আগতে হেৰি দিয়া আছে। মইতো তেনেহ'লে যদি দিয়া আছে তো প্ৰপ'জ ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্টখন ভাঙিলে কিয়? আৰু তাৰ মানে এতিয়া যদি লিষ্টখন দিছে আগৰ পৰা কিয় ভাঙিলে? সেইবিলাক কথা কওঁতে বহুত ওলালে। তাৰপিছত মই নাই ৱেবছাইট বিলাক চাওঁ, মই ইনফৰমেশ্যন আই ষ্টাৰ্টেড আস্কিং কুৱেশ্যনছ যে এতিয়া মই বিচাৰি পালো কি মাইনিং লিজ was granted to Coal India Limited in 1973 for 30 years and it expired in 2003. And 2003 they never proposed for any renewal of the lease, but they continued mining. And the first proposal that came in, this is to documents that I have gone. The first proposal for renewal came in 2012. See, after a period of 9 years. And there Coal India admitted that we have destroyed 12.5 hectares of land without any permission. So this needs to get ex post facto approval. Tar pisot ki hol, environment of forest and climate change আৰু মাজত বহুত ফেক্ট আছে, সেইবিলাক লিগেল কথা। মই চিম্পল ৱেত কৈ আছো। এটা ৰিপৰ্ট বিচাৰিলে শ্বিলঙৰ সিহঁতৰ ৰিজনেল অফিচৰ পৰা। ৰিজনেল অফিচে গৈ পেলাই দেখে তাত আৰু 44 হেক্টেয়াৰ্ছ ডেষ্ট্ৰয় হৈ গৈছে। চ' ইট টাৰ্ণছ টু এৰাউণ্ড 56 hectares destroy hoise aru tar pisot dekhile another 9 hectares have been dug up aru 7 hectares the forest were cleared. So ultimately 73 hectares of land was destroyed without any permission, without any clearance of the forest and environment aru apunar state wildlife board or national wildlife board or eku permission no ase. Now they wanted to legalize it. They said give us post facto approval for 57 hectares of land that we have destroyed, but the report has found that they have already destroyed 73. এতিয়া মোৰ মূৰত ষ্ট্ৰাইক কৰিলে যে এইটো যদি হ'বলৈ হয় আজি চেলেকি ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্টত হৈছে এই মাইনিং লিষ্টখন যেনিবা ৰিনিউ হ'লে ইহঁতে এই মডাছ অপাৰেণ্ডিটো লৈ পেলাই আকৌ দুখনমান ফৰেষ্ট ডিষ্ট্ৰয় কৰি দিব কৰি পেলাই আকৌ পোষ্ট ফেক্ট এপ্ৰুভেল লৈ ল'ব আৰু দুখনমান ফৰেষ্ট যাবগে তো এই ইলিগেলিটিটো আমি কোৰ্টত কিয় দাঙি নধৰো আৰু এইটোতো হ'ব দিব নোৱাৰি তেতিয়া আমি অলপ ৰিচাৰ্চ কৰিলোঁ মোৰ লগত আছিলে দেৱজিৎ কুমাৰ দাস মোৰ অলপ চিনিয়ৰ কলিগ আৰু ৰাখি চিৰথিয়া এণ্ড দুজনমান জুনিয়ৰ ল'ৰা আছিলে সন্দীপ বিশ্বকৰ্মা আমি চবে ষ্টাডি কৰি এটা ডিচিশ্যন পালোঁ লাফাৰ্জ উমিয়াম মাইনিং কৰ্পৰেশ্যন লিমিটেড ভাৰ্চেছ Union of India. That was reported in 2011, 7 SCC, page 338. তাত দেখা পালো যে সিমিলাৰ ঘটনা এটা আপোনাৰ হেৰিত হৈছে শিলঙত হৈছিলে কিন্তু সেইখন ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্ট নহয় এনে এটা এটুকুৰা লেণ্ডত হৈছিলে য'ত আপোনাৰ লাইমষ্টোন মাইনিং ফৰ চিমেণ্টৰ কাৰণে হৈছিলে তাত ডিএফৰ পাৰ্মিশ্যনটো হোৱা নাছিলে তাৰপিছত ডিএফৰ পাৰ্মিশ্যন নোহোৱাৰ কাৰণে অকমান শিলং গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ লগত গণ্ডগোল লাগোতে সিহঁতৰ মাইনিং লিষ্টটো বন্ধ কৰিলে সিহঁতি গৈ পেলাই কেছ কৰিলে তেনেকুৱা কেছ কৰোঁতে আল্টিমেটলি কেছটো যেতিয়া ডিচাইড কৰিলে সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে ক'লে যে এক্স পোষ্ট ফেক্ট এপ্ৰুভেল ইজ টোটেলি ইলিগেল আৰু এনেকুৱা হ'লে দ্য পলিউটাৰ হেজ টু পে হি হেজ টু ৰিক্লেইম দ্য লেণ্ড এণ্ড ট্ৰাই টু ব্ৰিং ইট টু ইটছ অৰিজিনেল পজিশ্যন যোনটো হ'ব নোৱাৰে বাৰু থ্ৰু এফৰেষ্টেশ্যন ড্ৰাইভ এণ্ড পে হেভি কম্পেনচেশ্যন টু দ্য ষ্টেট তেতিয়া মই ভাবিলোঁ যে আমাৰ এইটো এৰিয়াটো ৰিজাৰ্ভ ফৰেষ্ট হয় অলৰেডি আৰু আণ্ডাৰ দ্য ফৰেষ্ট কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন এক্ট ইউ হেভ টু গেট এ ফৰেষ্ট ক্লিয়াৰেন্স ফৰেষ্ট কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যন এক্ট কেম ইন 1980 so that was during the time of the lease when coal mining of under Coal India was continuing in the Dihing Patka area. So wasn't it the duty of coal mining Coal India Limited to get a forest clearance because of their going on destroying the proposed reserve forest? তো এই ইলিগেলিটি বিলাক দাঙি ধৰি পেলাই PIL খন ফাইল কৰা হ'ল আৰু তাৰমানে আমাৰ কেছটো বেচিকেলি ইট ইজ এ মেৰিট বেছ কেছ উই ৱান্টেড টু আৰ্গিউ অন মেৰিট আৰু ইয়াৰ লগত বহুত প্ৰব্লেমছ আৰ মাল্টি লেয়াৰ্ড বিকজ অপেন কাষ্ট মাইনিং মানে কি ইউ আৰ গোয়িং টু ডেষ্ট্ৰয় দ্য হোল হিলছ এণ্ড নাথিং দেয়াৰ ৱাইল্ড লাইফ হেবিটেট এভৰিথিং উইল বি ডেষ্ট্ৰয়ড আগৰ আপোনাৰ যোনকেইজন স্পীকাৰ আছিলে তেওঁলোকেতো কৈছে কেনেকে এফেক্ট হ'ব So এনেকে হৈ থাকিলে this patch of rainforest will disappear. আমি মৰি যাম. We have hardly quality life of how many years? 10 years, 20 years.
মানে আজি পঢ়ি আছো কৈছে মানে হেতু তাৰ পিছত they will plant trees. But can they grow a forest again like a rainforest takes thousands
They cannot.
of years?
They can. A forest needs at least 100, 200 years.
কিবা মিটিগেশ্যন কিবা কজ এটা আছে যে মিটিগেশ্যন হেৰি কৰিলে মানে they will do plant trees. Can they plant a rainforest? Is it possible? Yeah.
Impossible. They have already destroyed. So I think this far and no further. যিখিনি আছে আমি এটা বচাব লাগে.
I like that spirit of yours, Mr. Mrinmoy Khatori, that this far and no further. I like that.
Yes.
And coming back to the next question, it's a short question, but it will beg a short answer. Forget all the legalities you did. Forget all the legal procedures you did. Forget all the legalities you studied. But as a citizen, when you took this up as a kind of study by research, what was the reaction around you?
I didn't tell anyone that I was researching on this. I was doing my own work with my team. And আমি তো সদায় কোর্টত কেতিয়া যাও আমি সিটিজেন্স বিলাকে যাও to establish our right. But here we have come to function to perform our fundamental duty, which is enshrined in Article 51A. When a citizen thinks that his environment and forest is destroyed, he has to come before the Supreme Court or the High Court to try and save it. So we are duty bound under the Constitution. We the people of India, so we the people of India is the Constitution. and the various agencies of the government, including the judiciary, they are duty bound and under oath to protect the constitution, and constitution says that our environment should be protected.
You know, Adi, apnalokar agote Sushant Talukdar aise. He has expressed failure on the part of journalists, saying that we didn't do our job. That was an amazing moment. He has come out with the most amazing article. Viral but he said, a lot of them couldn't do their jobs. I don't want to. I think a lot of them were trying. Sushant Talukdar has spoken for himself, and I think we also are speaking for our communities where we fail to look up and where we fail to deliver. And as an individual, as a citizen, I think you have inspired people from different walks to start caring. From different walks, you have inspired them to start caring about the land. I think that is the most important thing.
That is more important, and all our citizens, every time they feel in their heart, they should start knocking. আমি সবে যদি এটাৰ পিছত এটাকে নক কৰি থাকো, এই evil system will collapse one day. So but thing is that we have to keep on hammering. আজি মই hammer কৰিলো, কালি বেলেগ এজনে কৰিব, but waves after waves of this hammer to আহি থাকিব লাগিব, আৰু এইটো আমাৰ নতুন জেনাৰেশ্যনে pick up কৰিব লাগিব. মানে we should not leave them alone and give them a cakewalk.
Exactly. No, I think you have started due process, and I think you are there to lead the way. With what we have, what we have, I think you will have the support and also, the social awareness you need to make the umbrella bigger. And that has been my effort. That will be our efforts. That will be our efforts. I see ourselves as one doing this. We all are facilitators to a bigger cause. We all are facilitators.
We have seen what's happening. People have seen, and what you see, that is the truth. Yet government report among nalage. We know what is going on. Everything is an open secret.
I like the way how you treat tragedy with humor. How do we have to treat this tragedy in terms of a conversation? Because this has to be present. I am not laughing at the plight of anybody, but this conversation will have to happen in each and every way.
In our own capacity. I as a lawyer filed an PIL. You as a singer has trying to gather the people. So everyone, a student, students can write to the PM of India, the United Nations, and all the PMs of the various countries who are espousing the call for clean energy, that this is what is happening. That is what we want. Let them write letters, petition, everything. We have to keep the fires burning.
Each of us shall rise for the case of heritage. I think that is what we take down from here. We must rise for the cause of
our capacity অনুযায়ী আমি যি কৰিব পাৰো এটো কৰিবই লাগিব.
Exactly. And capacities like you are a qualified professional, qualified no holo, they can do it from what they can. There is hard.
Even a doctor can do. Even a doctor can do. Who is fighting COVID now? He can also write a letter.
Exactly. I think that was lovely. Thank you so much, Mr. Nirmal Khatwania, for giving us your time.
Oh, thank you, Joy. I must thank you for giving me this platform. I never realized that it will grow this big. I just booked it and we are just inside the arena.
And I think we'll walk hand in hand in this journey. This I promise you, sir.
Of course.
I promise you.
We'll always keep on trying. We'll never give up.
Thank you. Never give up.
Thank you,
Mr.
Never give up. Thank you.
That was the most dynamic Nirmal Khatwania. He's an amazing personality. All right, we are keeping this quick today, and I have Gargi Borua with me.
Hi. And, good evening, Joyda.
Good evening to you. And Enuka, different environments and different causes and different events make different friends, and I think that is the logic of the friendship here that you see between Joy Borua and Gargi Borua. So Gargi is somebody that probably I've known for 48 hours, but I have immense respect for what she does, and I think hers is also a story people should see. And Gargi, I think you have 5 minutes. But what I want to ask, and you can expand on that, is that about the article that you wrote. You are a young urban professional. You are a young urban professional who does a corporate job with, you can mention that. But you've chosen to write about Dihin Patkai, and I detect a very strong emotion in that article. I detect a strong sense of angst. I detect a sense of anger, and I detect a lot of passion. Did it carry one? And feel free to tell us. We are all yours for 5 minutes.
That's pretty competitive. Anyway, thanks for having me here, Joyda. Yeah. So coming to your question, I think this whole awareness around Dihin Patkai for me was very personal and individual, because as a person, I've always been very close to nature. I know I have spoken about this with you a lot of times. So that being my childhood days in my dad's native place in Jorhat, where we could always be much closer to nature than our concrete lives in the cities, right? So I have built that very early on in my life naturally. Having said that, while going through Dihin Patkai's very initial articles here and there, so I felt, I was astonished how even after being so close to nature, I was not as knowledgeable about Dihin Patkai as I should have been. So this intrigued me, and I kept on reading, and I went up to my seniors at my workplace.
We have a mixed audience. I mean, Ohomia English we have a mixed audience.
Okay.
So feel free.
All right, that's better. So I was going through many articles, and then my officer, more seniors of my proprietors at Asa Corp, I went up to them and I said, I want to write an article about this, because we keep writing about various other, and we have a larger audience because our clients are spread across different states in the country, right? So and they were very proud about it. They said, yeah, go on. And I'm so thankful that I had written that article, because now our clients from all over the country, different states, Delhi, Mumbai, they have shown interest in this, and at the first place, they have started knowing that there is an existence of a rainforest in India, which was very important, I think.
Yeah. So, Gargi, you move to whole as a citizen, as a young urban professional, how much of environment is part of your consciousness? To me, tumar environment ecosystem etu tumar bhabot kiman dur thake?
I think it's one of the basic principles of human existence, let alone just me, everybody. I think it has to be there for everyone here, because aji COVID ahise, kali belek kiba ahibo, but nature and us, we have to go hand in hand always. It is an ecosystem, ami ekelage thakiboi lagibo, and manue hetu buji poatu bahut important. Moi mur article to likhisu, ekhon prithibi okol amar nohoy, বেলেগে যেনেকে হাতী এটাই বা যোনে ইহঁতে they are walking lightly on this planet. I think আমি অকল human beings are being very harsh to it. It's about time we understood that. It's about time we understood that, and we keep that in our mind time and again. Yeah.
All lives matter.
Yes, of course. All lives matter.
All lives matter. And Gargi, the most important question is that, to me, you have written a beautiful article. What is your engagement? What is your engagement with nature? Where do you go from here?
See, I am no expert in this, that I can tell you what we should be doing about this entire issue of coal mining, but everything depends on an individual capacity, right? Like just now, you and Mr. Mrinmoy Khataniar has spoken about it. Ki ami sobe, as a lawyer, as a student, as an individual working in a corporate world, everybody has their own.
You're breaking up, Gargi. I think that's a problem with the thing. I think network problems is, but what I really like about Gargi is that, being the young professional that she's chosen to write. She's put it out on her company blog. about Dihing Patkai. Now, this is the sort of engagement we are looking. Yes, Gargi, I think you're
Yeah,
back.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
the internet got
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's cool. Finish. Yeah, can you finish that?
so yeah, if you're asking me what next, is like I on an individual level have to keep this going, because one article has brought awareness, I feel has brought awareness to so many people. So I have to use that opportunity to write more, speak more, educate myself more, and then my people about it. Because at the end of the day, if we do not work for our own land, who will, right, Joyda?
No, I think that's the most important thing, because the thing is, if not us, who? If not now, when?
Absolutely. So মই ইয়াতে চবকে মোৰ লগৰ মোৰ ঘৰৰ মানুহ মই চবক whoever মই যাক চিনিও নাপাওঁ এইটো এটা প্লেটফৰ্ম পাইছো আগবাঢ়ি যাবলৈ আমি এইটো কামত স্পেচিয়েলি আৰু উইথ ইউ এণ্ড আজি যোনে যোনে জইন কৰিল আৰু যোনে যোনে ইন ফিউচাৰ আমাক জইন কৰিব let us all be together and fill up that void of unawareness and lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That is where I think we are responsible right now. Yeah.
I think that's the most, that lack of knowledge. And, Gargi, as somebody who will go through life, I think, the biggest enemy of the ecosystem is we cannot point our fingers outwards. We have to point them in. The biggest enemy has been our lack of knowledge, has been the lack of awareness. We don't know what is in our backyard. We don't realize the value of things. And more like it's not only a forest, it's our heritage. Heritage to we'll value and we'll cherish what, and we still haven't figured out what heritage is. All cultural heritage to bujipo, natural heritage to the cultural heritage is based on natural heritage. Ei bostu ami bujipo nai, ar hekane problem hoise. But having said that, I think I'm losing you, Gargi, your connection.
Yeah, I think my connection is a little low right now. Yeah.
But anyway, Gargi, you have to say what you have to say, and thank you for being with us.
Yes.
And
thank you so much. Thank you for having me here every time.
Right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Like I've said to the others,
we will take this forward.
Yeah, we have to take this forward. Thank you, Gargi. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Jayda. Have a good night. Yeah.
Okay. And now to Rohit Chaudhary.
Hi, good evening, Jayda.
You are a busy guy.
No, I'm not
a very busy person. To be both parapuna kora, both research kora, and lot of guys are very scared of you. A lot of guys are scared of you. A lot of guys look up to you.
Not
whatever. See, the thing is that whatever Rohit Chaudhary does or doesn't do, people think about what he's doing or not doing. That's an interesting place where you have landed into, Rohit. So, Aru, you are a man who has done much, and you have put your life on the line. And tomorrow about good dhorna kotha hoise. Tomorrow about keteba documentary boribo, keteba cinema boribo. But we are almost coming to the end of this.
Big words, very big words.
Rohit, you have lived a big life. Our session to Sentinel loi aisu. Agor kita session was on my social media. So what I have to say for a Rohit Chaudhary is that Rohit is from a Barwari family in Upper Assam. He's taken on the protectorship of Kaziranga. Kotha bhabise, kam korise, and this is Assam. This is plural Assam, and this is the diversity of Assam that I respect. And Rohit Chaudhary is the actual Assamese that I will also aspire to be. It's always an honor to have you, Rohit, with us.
Thank you,
Rohit. It's always an honor, Rohit. And we are part of this, and it's for people like you that I've been inspired also to take this on, and give it my time and energy. And so, Rohit, you have done so much. I don't have pointed questions for you. What do you have to tell people who are watching this what do you have to tell on the occasion of World Environment Day? What do you have to say?
Jayda, first of all, I'm thankful to you and Sentinel for giving me an opportunity to speak on this day.
we have a catalyst. Yeah.
তাৰপাছত মই মৃন্ময় দা আৰু মিষ্টাৰ বিক্ৰমক আই এম থেংক ইউ ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ ফৰ টেকিং আপ দ্য ইছ্যু অফ দিহিং পাটকা ইন অনাৰেবল হাইকোৰ্ট এণ্ড মই নিজৰ শুভেচ্ছা যাচিছোঁ তেওঁলোকক চ' ডেট এট দ্য এণ্ড অফ দ্য ডে দে কাম আপ উইথ এ ভেৰি গুড ৰিজাল্ট আৰু আমি তেওঁলোকৰ কাৰণে চবৰ প্ৰচেষ্টাৰ কাৰণে আমি দিহিং পাটকা এখন বচাব পাৰোঁ ভৱিষ্যতৰ কাৰণে মই এটা কথা ক'ব বিচাৰিছিলোঁ যে মৃন্ময় দাই এতিয়া অলপ আগত কৈ আছিলে ওৱান লাইন ফৰ দিহিং পাটকাই বিকজ বহুত মানুহে দিহিং পাটকাই কাৰণে কৈছে তাত যেতিয়া ফৰেষ্ট ক্লিয়াৰেঞ্চ যেতিয়া ষ্টেজ 1 ক্লিয়াৰেঞ্চটো দিছে তাৰ ফাৰ্ষ্ট পইণ্টটো আছে লিগেল ষ্টেটাছ অফ দ্য লেণ্ড উইল নট বি চেঞ্জড ইট উইল অলৱেজ ৰিমেইন এ ফৰেষ্ট লেণ্ড আপুনি 98.59 হেক্টাৰ্ছত মাইনিং কৰিলেও অবভিয়াছলি মাইনিং কৰিবলৈতো আপোনাক গোটেই গছ গছনি জংঘলটো কাটি তাৰ পাছতে মাইনিং কৰিব even after that land is destroyed devastated the legal status of hetu forest হৈ থাকিব গছ গছনি এটাও নাথাকে কিন্তু তাত ফৰেষ্ট হৈ থাকিব so these are very interesting conditions given by the ministry but যিকোনো হোক মানে ইয়াত বহুত কথা আছে আমাৰ about young people that enough is enough now they have stood up that's very right students and young people can bring the change যেতিয়া মই স্কুলত আছিলো I used to think কি এটো কি হ'ব কি নহয় when first of all we need to educate ourselves গাৰ্গী যেতিয়া এনেকে এতিয়া ক'লে কি I am no more expert I also say Jaida I am no expert and Mr. Minmoy ক'লে কি he started reading about it he assembled the information he started reading about it আৰু তাৰপিছত যেতিয়া তেওঁ যিমান পঢ়িলে নতুন নতুন ইস্যুজ ওলাই পৰিলে মানে তেওঁ নিজকে আপডেট কৰিলে আজি তেওঁ নিজকে আপডেট কৰা পাছত তেওঁ হাইকোৰ্টত PIL এটা ফাইল কৰিছে বিকজ যেতিয়ালৈকে আপুনি নিজে আপডেট নহয় you cannot do anything when I did my Kaziranga case mining case মানে ময়ো এক্সপাৰ্ট নহয় আজিও মই এক্সপাৰ্ট নহয় I know nothing but যেতিয়া মই পঢ়িলো ৰিসাৰ্চ কৰিলো ইনফৰমেশন এসেম্বল কৰিলো তেতিয়া মই গম পালো এইটো ভাইলেশন আছে এইটো ভাইলেশন আছে এইটো ভাইলেশন আছে যিমান ভাইলেশন আছে তাৰ লিষ্ট বনালো তাৰ পিছত এটা কনক্লুজনত আহিলো এইটোটো বহুত ডাঙৰ ভাইলেশন হৈ আছে আজি মই একেদিনাখন গোটেই ভাইলেশনটো মোৰ ওচৰত অহা নাই যিমান ৰিসাৰ্চ কৰিছো তাৰ পাছত এটা পাছত এটো হাইলাইট হৈছিল তাৰ পাছত মই নিজকে এডুকেট কৰি এটো ইস্যুৰ পৰা মাইনিং ইস্যুৰ পৰা নিজকে আপডেট কৰি তাৰ পাছত মই কেছটো ফাইল কৰিছিলো সেন্ট্ৰাল এম্পাৱাৰ্ড কমিটিত then the central empowered committee came to for the site inspection and then they checked and verified and they found my complaint to be true hey kana the young generation first needs to be updated they need to read they need to do research and they need to update themselves এটো নহয় কি আমি এটা আৰ্টিকেল পঢ়ি আমি কথা ক'বলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰি দিও বা এটো নাই এটো ইলিগাল আছে নাই এটো লিগ্যাল আছে illegal আছে যদি কেলে বস্তুটো illegal আছে we should know ki why it is illegal and why it is not illegal and then when I speak on Kaziranga মই কাজিৰঙা কাৰণে তমান কথা ক'ব বিচাৰো আপুনি এতিয়া কৈছিলে হেৰিটেজ বস্তুটো Kaziranga is a UNESCO World Heritage Site we got the status in 1985 and Kaziranga UNESCO World Heritage Site বুলি এটো নহয় কি যিমান দূৰ পাৰ্ক বাউন্ডাৰী আছে হেইটো হেৰিটেজ সাইট আছে the entire landscape is a heritage কি নাই আমাৰ সেই ল্যান্ডস্কেপত তাত আমাৰ কাৰ্বি হিলছ পাহাৰ আছে আমাৰ চাহ বাগান আছে we have tea estates we have agricultural land we have river Brahmaputra এই ল্যান্ডস্কেপটো ইমান সহজে আপনি ইমান মাইটি ৰিভাৰ ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ একফালে আপোনাৰ হিলছ আছে জংগল আছে মানে this type of landscape you won't find at every place on the planet this is something very unique and which we needs to be very proud of and we need to protect our for generations in future to come for our future generations and ইয়াক protect কৰিবলৈ হলে কোনো আমাক ধৰ্ণাৰ দৰকাৰ নাই protect কৰিবলৈ কাৰণে কি আমি ধৰ্ণা কৰিব লাগিব গভৰ্নমেন্টৰ এগেইনষ্টত protest কৰিব লাগিব for example take it Dihing Patkai camping It was only on social media. But it forced the chief minister to order the forest minister to go to the site. However, irrespective of any the report which is submitted, that is a different issue. But it came to the light of the chief minister. It came to the light of many other journalists in Delhi or Mumbai. Persons like you are sitting in Mumbai, apni etu kotha gom paise. It honorable High Court to ya suo moto case to loise. So this is the power, because if you are aware, if you are updated, then you can bring the change. And for Kaziranga, I would say to protect Kaziranga, we need to protect the corridors of Kaziranga, which is connecting Karbi Anglong landscape. Now, the main issue, proti bosor amar banpani ahe. Proti mane agor bahut agor pray banpani. It's a natural. Kaziranga is a floodplain. Flood is very essential for the very survival of Kaziranga National Park. Flood na thakile Kaziranga might be in problem. But in a 365 days, and especially during floods, amar jibo jontubur parkor pra ulai highway to cross kori, they go towards the hills, because Karbi hills are natural highlands. We don't have to teach the animals ki this is the natural highland. It is very much in their DNA itself. But in the process of crossing the highway to the other side, many animals are hit by the speeding vehicles, which is very painful, because they are not used to vehicles and they come and they try to cross over all of a sudden and they are hit by the vehicle. So when I took up the case in National Green Tribunal gave an order that 40 kilometer restricted speed or violator may have to pay a fine of 5,000. Right, apart from the Motor Vehicle Act penalty, etc.
To me, to intervention korar piছত speed breaker, তাৰপিছত speed limit, fines, এখিনি গুটেখিনি বস্তু আহিছে.
Okay. Right? Yeah, that's correct. The electronic sensor, interceptor vehicles, speed breakers, and this fine of 5,000, which I took up the matter with the NGT. It came up, but so the fine, the 5,000 to fine ase, the main purpose is not to collect money. The purpose was to create a sense of fear and create a sense of responsibility, the person driving the vehicle, so that animals are protected. Apni fine to pra 10 lakh ba 20 lakh hoy gol iman to nohoy bar. Apni 1 koti tokao jodi fine or pra jodi earn kori lole, but finally you are losing the animals. No, that was not the main. That is not the main motto. That is to bring some sense of discipline. So etia students community ase, by young generation ase, I will say, of Assam, we have to be aware that when we drive through National Highway 37 from Jakhla to Bokagat, we need to be very responsible. We don't have to overspeed our vehicles. Nai police or gari nai ba forester manu nai ba interceptor vehicle nai. We should go over a speed of 100, 120, 80. No, that should not be there. We should have a sense of responsibility. Ki ami eta prescribed speed jot jiman koise ami hetute jabo lage, and if someone else is also going, we request him or her also to follow the rules, because Kaziranga belongs to all of us. Exactly. Not only to the people of Assam or to the India. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's an international property, and if we are aware and updated, we can be a big help to the National Park Authority.
Right.
মানে আপনার যদিও অফিশিয়ালিও আপনি ধরে more than 25-30 animals are killed and many go unnoticed. মই হৰু জীৱ-জন্তুৰ কথাই পতা নাই, হাঁহ আছে বা হৰু যিবোৰ আছে টাইলছ আছে, I don't speak of them. I'm speaking about the deer and other animals. So we need to be aware and we need to follow those. And then second comes when it comes to protecting corridors. Even after the forest department has written letters to the administration and police, dangor problem ase ki amar tat parking of vehicles on the animal corridors. Trucks ase, oil tankers ase, gas tankers ase, they come and they park on the animal corridors. Sometimes it could lead to some major accidents also. Now if we can bring a change for Dihing Patkai, we should make aware the government that this is a big issue, this is dangerous, why we are blocking the animal corridors. before 2-3 days I tweeted with those photographs. Apna gas tanky, oil tanky, jetia apni main corridor thiyo ase. And now you think if an elephant is coming and if he finds a number of vehicles standing on the animal corridor, he might go back or he might cross over. And in the time of crossover, he might get angry and charge the vehicle. So we need to bring a sense of awareness. We need to keep ourselves updated, and we should think Kaziranga as our own property. Not a key way forest department. No, it's not forest department or kam no hoy ba administration or kam no hoy ba police or kam. It is our own collective responsibility. So we need to, and the other issues are there. Suppose I tweeted it today. I'm very sorry to say that Kanchanjuri corridor, there is a Supreme Court order that no new constructions will be allowed on the animal corridors, even on the private land which are falling on corridors. Dhunia ke Kanchanjuri corridor uprot eta mane hotel type or kiba dangor structure eta built up korise, and then rasta kinarote jibur tea garden ase hetu clear kori eta approach road type or bonaise. It's very painful. There is a Supreme Court order, and যদি কিবা কাজিৰঙা ভিতৰুৱা জাগাত নাই বা কাৰ্বি আংলঙৰ কিবা ভিতৰুৱা জাগাত নাই, তেতিয়া নেক্সট টু দ্য হাইৱে মানে যেতিয়া পেট্ৰলিং চলি থাকে সেই বস্তুটো আমি দেখিয়ে থাকো. If the government have themselves turned a blind eye, the park authority has turned a blind eye, it's very unfortunate. Ki Kaziranga Khan, so we need to come out of the lip service. This is a World Environment Day. We planted a sapling and we took the photographs and uploaded on the social media, and we give big statements like an expert, and then we do nothing by ourselves. In this process, if we go, we can't save Kaziranga National Park or Dihing Patkai or Pabitra, Manas or Dipor Bill. One example I will say of the Dipor Bill, when we etia hati jitu death hoise Kerala, that's a very unfortunate and painful incident. But hetu death hoise ami tar karone mat matisu. But what are we doing for our Dipor Bill or Kaziranga land? Dipor Billot apnar jetia animal corridor jitu ase elephant movement hoy, elephants come down the hills, they go to the Dipor Bill, they drink water, he pani tu thake olop, heti khaye, they chill themselves, and then early morning they go back. And now the corridors, the number of warehouses have come out in that area, the number of encroachment, the railway yard and all, the way it has come out, it is making the elephants angry. Today, if we don't find the solution of human-elephant conflict, don't think that tomorrow it will reduce. Tomorrow it is going to multiply. Aji jiman problem to ase jodi aji amar tak solve nokoro, not only of Dipor Bill, of any landscape, it is going to multiply the problem, and it will be creating problem for the future generation. So why don't
Dipor Bill thakote Rohit amar Dipor Bill bonwa manujon ase Ipson Lal Borua aise jodi eta life eta hoboy di Dipor Bill or nije gan bonai. Actually Ipson and I, we co-host this whole thing. Ipson all busy hoye ase last 2-3 weeks. So aji aise, we want to ask him about Dipor Bill. Gan tu kor paile kane kotha tu ki hoise মানে ইপছনে বনোৱাৰ পিছত বহুত মানুহে গম পালে কথাটো, কিন্তু সেইটোৱে কথা আমাৰ সব ধৰণৰ পাৰ্টিসিপেশন লাগিব, সেইটোৱে কথা, we have to keep it, we have to keep it quick, we have to keep it participating, সব ধৰণৰ মানুহ লাগিব. Everybody is a stakeholder in this. On this note, for the first time I am getting in Ipson. Hello Ipson. Hi. Good evening to you.
Hi, good evening.
Hi Ipson. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So
good to see you.
Good to see you.
Ipson, yeah, Rohit Chaudhary. So Rohit is an amazing person. He's Aro Ipson. Adi, tumi amoi to show, we host the show. But adi tumi kikhor bola aisa. Ama quickly jonwa. Dipor Billor gato tuma kyo bonabole mon gol. Amar Rohit Chaudhary boise ami Dipor Billor kotha patise. Tumai to be ahi paisa hi. Dipor Billor gato keneke bonile?
Moi last
yeah.
Sorry, what?
Oh. No, Dipor Bill to gato kyo bonile ar tumi bonai pile tar pisot ki hol tumi amak thulul ke bojai dia. Apar olop somoy ase 5 minutes.
Sure. কথাটো হল অলপ আগতে ৰেসপেক্টেড ৰোহিত চৌধুৰী ডাঙৰীয়া যিটো ক'লে যে এতিয়া কি হৈ গৈ আছে, সেইটোক লৈ মই বহুত ফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰেটেড আই এম নট এন এক্টিভিষ্ট মই এক্টিভিষ্ট নহয় সৰুৰ পৰা গান নাটক খেলাবিলাকৰ লগত জড়িত আৰু দীপৰ বিলৰ পাৰতেই মই ডাঙৰ হৈছো ইয়াতেই জন্ম মোৰ আৰু তাৰপিছত যেতিয়া মই কৰ্মক্ষেত্ৰত বম্বে ওলাই গৈছো তেতিয়া তাৰ আগতে 90s-ত 1991 মানত মই পেপাৰত পঢ়িছিলো যে এনেকে ৰেল লাইন এটা চেংচন হৈছে চেন্ট্ৰেল গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে কৰিছে I was wondering যে গোটেই অসমখনত কোনেও কিয় মাত মাতা নাই I was a probably school going boy তো মোৰ লগত কোনে তেনেকুৱা সিৰিয়াস কথা পাতিবলৈ মানুহ নাছিলে তো মই হেতু কথা চিন্তা কৰি থাকিলো কৰি মই ভাবিছিলো যে এই ৰেল লাইনটো যদি পলাশবাৰী হৈ পেলাই এনেকে গলেতেন পলাশবাৰী বানপানীৰ পৰাও বাচিলেহেঁতেন কিছু দূৰ কিন্তু এইফালে শৰ্টকাট কেলে কৰিলে য'ত আমি জানো যে তাত হাতী নামে আগৰ পৰাই বহুত যুগৰ পৰা বহুত আগৰ দিনতো আৰু বহুত কিবা আহিছিল বুলি জানো আৰু তাৰ পিছতে মই কৰ্মক্ষেত্ৰত যোৱাৰ পিছত যেতিয়া আমাৰ টিভি বিলাক আহিলে টিভি চেনেল বিলাক আহিলে DTH তেতিয়া ৰাতি টিভি চাও আমি কামৰ পৰা উভতি গৈ অসমখন চাবলৈ মন যায় মুম্বাইত থাকো ৰাতি দেখো দীপৰ বিলত ট্ৰেনে হাতী কাটিলে ইমান বেয়া লাগে মানে মোৰ এতিয়াও কওঁতে নুম থিয় হৈছে আৰু প্ৰত্যেকবাৰে নুম থিয় হয় বিৰাট ডিস্টার্ব ফিল কৰা যায় বিৰাট দুখ লাগে বিৰাট বেয়া লাগে আমাৰ কি অধিকাৰ আছে তাহাঁতৰ ৰাস্তাত যুগ যুগৰ পৰা আহি থকা ৰাস্তাটো আমি কেনেকে কাটি পেলাম তাৰপিছতে এনেকৈ কোনোবা এটা নিশা হয়তো তেনেকুৱা এটা গান সৃষ্টি কৰিছিলো কথা আৰু গান দীপৰ বিলৰ পাৰে পাৰে ৰেল চলে যাকে যাকে চৰাই উৰে চৰাই যাকো উৰা মাৰে দীপৰ বিলৰ পাৰে পাৰে ৰেল চলে যাকে যাকে হাতী নামে হাতীক ৰেলে খুন্দা মাৰে যায় কেনি পৃথিৱী যায় কেনি প্ৰগতি সো এতিয়া কথা হল তাৰ পিছত মই গীতটো কৰোতে জয়ক দেখুৱালো মোৰ বন্ধু জয়ৰ বাইদেউ ৰূপা বাইদেউ আৰু জয়ে ইনিশিয়ালি মোক যথেষ্ট এনকাৰেজ কৰিলে যে ক'লে যে এইটো সাংঘাতিক গান কৰিছা তুমি এইটোহে কৰিব লাগে আমাৰ আৰ্টিষ্ট বিলাকে তাৰ পিছতে গীতটো লাকিলি অলপতে ডিমাইজ হোৱা আমাৰ ৰেসপেক্টেড দিলীপ ৰঞ্জন দত্ত ডাঙৰীয়াই তেখেত ৰূপাবাৰ ঘৰলৈ আহিছিলে তেখেতে চালে তেখেতে চোৱাৰ পিছত মই আৰু কনফিডেন্স যথেষ্ট বাঢ়ি গ'ল তাৰ পিছতে যথেষ্ট মানুহ কানেক্টেড হল জয় ৰূপাবাৰ থ্ৰু দি যথেষ্ট মানুহ WWF কানেক্টেড হল অসমৰ প্ৰায়খিনি ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ ওয়াইল্ড কনজাৰভেশ্যনৰ লগত জড়িত বহুত কেইটা গ্ৰুপ জড়িত হল হোৱাৰ পিছত এদিনাখন গৈ আমাৰ আৰু এটা গান আছিলে আমি গুৱাহাটীত এই দুইটা গানে ৰিলিজ কৰিলো গান দুটা চাই অসমৰ যিমান বিলাক ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ এক্টিভিষ্ট আছে প্ৰায়খিনি সিনিয়ৰ্স লগ পালো তেওঁলোকক প্ৰায় 7টামান অৰ্গানাইজেশ্যন আছিলে তেওঁলোকে খুব বাহবা দিলে খুব ভাল পোৱা বুলি ক'লে তেওঁলোকে ক'লে আমি কৰিবলগীয়া কামখিনি তুমি কৰি দিছা থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এতিয়া ঘটনাটো হল তাৰ পিছৰ পৰা আজিলৈকে সেইখিনি মানুহ আজিলৈকে মই সেকেন্ড টাইম লগ পোৱা নাই দে वर গুড টু মি আৰু তাৰ ভিতৰত মোক দুই এগৰাকী অৱশ্যে হেল্প কৰিছে মানে গীতটো বনাওতে মোক হাতী লৈ আনি হেল্প কৰিছে এনেকুৱা টাইপৰ হেল্প কৰিছে কিন্তু ঘটনাটো হল আশ্চৰ্যজনকভাৱে এই যে ওয়াইল্ড লাইফ অৰ্গানাইজেশ্যন বিলাক আছে উইথ ডিউ ৰেসপেক্ট তাৰ ভিতৰত অনেষ্ট মানুহ নাই বুলি মই নকওঁ কিন্তু মোৰ এতিয়া কাৰো ওপৰত বিশ্বাস নাই কাৰণ এইখিনি সময়তে মই থ্যাঙ্কস দিব লাগিব ৰন চেন্ডলাৰ বুলি এজন মানুহ তেওঁ এলিফেন্ট কনজাৰভেশ্যনৰ কাম কৰে নিউয়ৰ্কত থাকে তেওঁ মোৰ গানটো লৈ নিউয়ৰ্কৰ পৰা ফ্লোৰিডালে গাড়ী চলাই গৈ গীতটি তাত স্ক্ৰিনিং কৰিছে এখন ফিল্ম মানে ফেষ্টিভেলত নেশ্যনেল এনভাইৰনমেন্টৰ ফিল্ম ফেষ্টিভেলত আৰু তাৰ পিছত তেওঁ যথেষ্ট এৱাৰনেছ ক্ৰিয়েট কৰিব চেষ্টা কৰিছে তাৰ পৰাই তেওঁ কৈছে উই উইল সেভ দীপৰ বিল দিছ এণ্ড দ্যাট তাৰ পিছত মই অসমত আকৌ এখন কিবা ভেকু ভাওনা হৈছিলে দীপৰ বিলৰ পাৰত এভেকশ্যনৰ নামত এইবিলাক ভেকু ভাওনা আমি মূৰ্খ নহয় তাৰমানে অসমৰ জনগণৰ মূৰ্খ নহয় কিন্তু অসমৰ জনগণ কিন্তু যথেষ্ট অসচেতন কোনো মূৰ্খ নহয় অসমৰ জনগণ যথেষ্ট স্বাৰ্থপৰ অকল নিজৰ কথা ভাবে নিজৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী দুটা ডক্টৰ ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে আৰ্ন কৰিছে তেওঁলোকৰ সমাজৰ প্ৰতি কোনো দায়বদ্ধতা নাই মই ধুবুৰীৰ পৰা ধেমাজিলৈকে প্ৰত্যেকগৰাকী অসমীয়াক এই কথাত দায়বদ্ধ কৰিব খুজিম কাৰণ তেওঁলোকৰ সমাজৰ প্ৰতি কোনো ৰেসপন্সিবিলিটি আজি দিহিং পাটকাইত কি হৈছে নতুবা আৰু আজি মেয়ৰ বিলৰ যিটো প্ৰিজাৰ্ভেশ্যনৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে যিখিনি কৰিছে মেয়ৰ বিলৰ কমিটিখনে যিমানখিনি তেওঁলোক সাকসেসফুল হৈছে মই তেওঁলোকক মণিমাণিক গগৈ আৰু তেওঁলোকৰ ভূপেন গগৈ তেওঁলোকে মিলি মেলি যিখিনি কৰিছে এতিয়া দীপৰ বিল ইজ গান অলৰেডি আৰু মই লাজ পাই ৰন চেন্ডলাৰ বোলা ব্যক্তিগৰাকীক সেকেন্ড টাইম আৰু তেখেতৰ মেইল মই ৰেসপন্ড কৰিব পৰা নাই মই লাজতে আমি ইমানে আনচিভিলাইজড কেতিয়াবাতে IBA আৰু ৰামসাৰ সাৰ্টিফাইড পক্ষী অভয়াৰণ্য য'ত আছে তাত ট্ৰেইন কেনেকৈ যাব পাৰে প্ৰথম কথা তাৰ ওপৰতো এতিয়া সেকেন্ড লাইন এটাও আকৌ বহাবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিছিলে তেওঁলোকে কিন্তু ঘটনাটো হ'ল যথেষ্ট ডিপ্ৰেছিং যথেষ্ট নিগেটিভ কথাটো গতিকে মই যেটো গান বনাইছিলো দীপৰ বিলৰ পাৰে পাৰে হেতু দুখৰ গান মই ভাবিছিলো কেতিয়াবা এটা সেই গানটোৰ সুখৰ ভাৰ্চন এটা বনাম বুলি কিন্তু সেই সুখৰ ভাৰ্চনটো হৈ নাহিবগে চাগে
ইপসনদা মানে মই কম ইমানো দুখ কৰিব নালাগে I have filed a case on Deepor Bill তেতিয়া আৰু NGT has ordered to shift the Boragaon West dumping site from that place because he Boragaon dumping site to बहुत problem kori asle government is in fact government has given an affidavit that 31st December 2019 or pasot eku dumping nokuru but still it is continuing eta order etu ase ta pasot government has court has ordered to make a eco sensitive zone for Deepor Bill so there is another order and tar pasot elephant or jitu asile taru tunnel bonabole heitu bostu mane process is on so hopefully if not in some time hopefully in future we may get some good things to come for Deepor Bill
I think I think যেতিয়ালৈকে আমাৰ মাজত ৰোহিত চৌধুৰী নিচিনা মানুহ আছে ভাল খবৰ পাম যেতিয়ালৈকে ইছনলাল বৰুৱাৰ নিচিনা ৰাইটাৰ মিউজিচিয়ান আৰ্টিষ্ট আছে আমাৰ ভাল গান পাম আৰু ভাল ভাল চিন্তা পাম আৰু এইখিনি মানুহে তাতে আশাটো নেহেৰাই সেইটোৱে মেইন কথা which will never lose hope যোনটো I don't want to quote him in this context মানে যোনটো চাৰ্চিলে কৈছিলে মানে Churchill is not a good guy for India but he says we'll never surrender we'll never give up we'll never surrender Ipson আজি যোনটো কৰি আহিছে মানে everything is a process even a fight has a journey তোমাৰ দীপৰ বিলৰ জাৰ্নি হ'ল আজি কথা কোলাতে তুমি যেটো কৈছা তোমাৰ ধুনিয়া গান নাহিব পাৰে Rohit Chaudhary in the meantime has stepped in somebody else will step in things will go on কিন্তু যেতিয়ালৈকে Rohit Chaudhary নিচিনা মানুহ আছে I think we have hope যেতিয়ালৈকে ইপসনলাল বৰুৱাই ফাইট কৰি আছে
thank you
and that is it and that's the thing I think we want to leave on a note of hope I think আজি lawyer ulai aise student ulai aise aru world environment day hoy aji amar mul kotha to let the darkness be behind us let us find what it is aji environment day aru and it's on the aru amar unfortunately ami environment day dina khone ami problem bor kotha patibo laga hoise kionu situation to have problematic যদি situation to bhal hol then we would have celebrated since the situation is problematic these problems have been discussed but these problems have been discussed by people who are doing better things who are wishing better things আজি Rohit Chaudhary এনে বহি থকা নাই আজি ইপসনলাল বৰুৱাই অকল বম্বে অকল গুৱাহাটীত গান লিখি থকা নাই তেওঁ সমাজখন লৈ তেওঁ ইকোসিস্টেমটো লৈ তেওঁ নিজৰ দায়িত্বটো বুজিছে তেওঁ নিজৰ কাম কৰিছে and as long as we have that there is hope and on the end of hope I see the rainbow নহলে ইপসন Rohit Chaudhary আৰু মই নিজৰ কথাও কওঁ এইটো কথা আমাৰ যোনখিনি আইডিয়াল আছিল আমি নহলে we could not have made a livelihood out of it if the world didn't understand us we would not been able to live there is a fight there is always the good fight there is always the good fight that we have to fight aru ei juddhokhon je ami koribo loiso moi bhabisi etu amar saubhagyo sobai juddho koribo so everybody doesn't get it in his destiny to go to war sobor bhagyo nohoy it's not in everybody's destiny to set things right it is not in everybody's fate line to fight the fight etu amar bhagyot porise ami nokora to amar karone eta personal dukh hobo personal tragedy hobo so this is as much as a personal fight as it is a fight for what we believe in and what we believe in is what has made us what we are and aji hekarone we are sitting down here we are discussing things of how to turn our land into better things and I think the future generation will have a lot to learn as long as there is Rohit Chaudhary fighting left and right we ohomar eta jaga kwa Rohit Chaudhary fight kora nai beat Kaziranga beat Rohit Chaudhary Deepor Biলৰ কথা পাতে যে ইপসনলাল বৰুৱা পালে তাৰপিছত ইপসনলাল বৰুৱা যে দুখ কৰিলে যে নতুন গান নবনিব পাৰে সুখৰ ভাৰ্জন নবনিব তেতিয়া Rohit Chaudhary ষ্টেপ বেক said ইপসনলাল সুখৰ গান বনিব so Rohit Chaudhary is such a man will have answers for any situations Rohit Chaudhary
there's nothing like this I'm doing my part of responsibility
no Rohit Chaudhary you have been very humble but Rohit Chaudhary bole amar tumi bola gan to bole ghor bahar loudspeaker bojai diye bole mane khunok he told me something we have been speaking about this boy
ঘৰৰ আগতে যেতিয়া আমি নাম পাতো তেতিয়া নাম কীৰ্তন হয় তেতিয়া মানে যেতিয়া মিউজিক চিষ্টেমটো আমি তুমি গানটো বজালে ভাল লাগে কানেক্ট কৰিব পাৰো আৰু আমি গাঁৱত থাকো ল'ৰাটো নামঘৰ চাই ডাঙৰ হৈছো
No, we are all interconnected. We are this is the ecosystem. This is the ecosystem of things. We are all interconnected. Our songs, his activity, your activism, our music, our conversation taking us ahead. And it takes a few good men to change the world. It doesn't take everybody. Rohit Chaudhary okole Kaziranga mining bondo korai dile. That's it. Ipson Lal Barua, you alone, Rohit Chaudhary has done it without a lawyer. Ipson Lal Barua, as long as you do your thing, the world will conspire to see that your vision is met. You write for Deepor Bill. Ipson Lal Barua should not stop feeling for Deepor Bill. He should never stop feeling for Deepor Bill. He should always feel for Deepor Bill. Homoy lage. Everything doesn't happen overnight.
Yes.
And I think destiny also tests us. Say, what is the good fight? Ami kiman fight korbo paro? Destiny will always test us. But we will live the good fight. We will fight for what is right. And we believe in a better Assam of tomorrow than it was yesterday. That's it.
True.
And thank you. And Ipson, you have to join me on hosting this from next time. But thank you for joining. Rohit Chaudhary.
Pleasure.
With you, we have started on this journey. We'll keep at this. Ami Asu with you all. Ipson or my.
Thank you very much.
With you. Life is meaningless. If there is no war, sometimes life is meaningless. We have to pick our wars. We are letting go of some battles, but we'll get to the wars.
True.
And on that note, thank you, both of you. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, Jaida. Thank you, Ispanda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Good night. Bye-bye.
Sure.
Good night. Thank you. Bye. And on that note, thank you, all of you, for watching. This was a different kind of a discussion. This was a different, but these things have to be done. Moi jano ebu discussion of kirema manu kompi hoy, they want a different kind of environment. It's a tough life. But we have problems with the ecosystem right now. Kintu a problem khini thik hoy gole ako bhal lagibo ekhini kotha pati bole. That is the difference. Once we get certain things right, we would love talking about the ecosystem. I think that day should come soon. Ipson Lal Barua jate Deepor Billor happy version to guy. That is what we are looking at. Thank you, all of you. Have a great evening ahead, and thank you for being with us. Good night.